All right, hello everyone, and welcome to this tournament livestream game. This is coming from the Wingspan Open, which is a best of 5 knockout style tournament, which is based on the tennis majors styles of tournaments. So, yeah, this is currently in round 4, and this matchup is between Motherlove and Wingspanner. And joining me for game 1 of this livestream, I've got Gruvenstein. So, welcome, Gruvenstein.
Flan, welcome. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. This is I'm so excited for this matchup. I mean, it's two of the strongest players on the server, and should be as spicy as the commentary. Hopefully,
Absolutely, yeah, I think you're right. We've got 2 very strong players here, and yeah, should be in for some good matchups. Already seeing some predictions in the chat about how many full tucks we're going to get out of the players today. So, you know me, I'm a big fan of those. So, I will be keeping my fingers crossed. But one way or the other, I think we're ready to get this started. So, Mother Love is going to be sending out the invite for game 1. So, if you could go ahead and send that out, Mother Love. And yeah, best of luck to both of our players.
no doubt. It's always exciting when you get to see what's in the tray. Ooh, okay, nice tray.
Absolutely, yeah, good wetland start, I think, at least. And the bonus card is a nice one as well. So yeah, I think this kind of favours Mother Love going for those cards early and just trying to sort of filter through the deck and yeah, hopefully get some good Forest Bird.
Yeah. Now, what was the bonus card? I saw Food Web, and what was the other one?
I didn't see the other one, but I think Food Web is probably the obvious pick. Just want to check that Wingspanner has got this invite because it looks like they maybe don't. Oh no, there we go. They are in the game.
There we go. Oh, Food Web or Bird Counter. Okay.
Yeah, so kind of a tricky one, really. I think obviously Bird Counter's nice for the coot they've got. I'm imagining they're going to go straight for that yellow throat, and yeah, just try and sort of start digging through the deck. But here we go. This is Wingspanner's starting hand, probably more well-rounded, you would say. Pelleted Woodpecker, obviously a really nice choice, but a bit of a shame they don't have that second cavity nest bird, but probably still worth going for.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, with that woodpecker, you can. There's a fair amount of the time that your opponent is not going to have a cavity nest bird, or at least they're not going to get it played within the first couple of turns. So that's usually good for even if you don't have a second one, that's usually good for a free egg or two, and it's a nice diversity of food that they can use with that egret. You keep the cherry, the grub, the fish. I don't really see anything else there that's that I would consider worth keeping. I think you just maybe they look at. I wonder if they look at potentially the osprey if it's there. Then they've got a really quick. 2 birds down in the wetlands. I mean, assuming Mother Love does what we expect, which is to take the yellow throat. I don't know. What's your approach if you're Wingspanner here?
Yeah, I think you're right. I think kind of these 2 birds are the obvious pick. I'd be interested to see if they do go for the osprey. So, they could pick up the osprey, and then if they go for cards again, that is then going to give them the fish to get that egret down. And suddenly, when you've got those 2 birds in the wetlands, just being able to see those couple of cards and then get the food from the osprey is nice as well. But yeah, I wonder here if there's that obviously woodpecker we've got in the tray. I wonder if we see Wingspanner play their woodpecker early on, if that's going to be something Motherlove looks at just to at least get that cavity nest. Because yeah, as we've sort of seen with the cards they picked, not got any at the moment.
Yeah, I mean the only issue there for Wingspanner is a food one, right? Because if they get the coot down, they get we presume they're going to take the yellow throat, get that down. Well, now they're down to 1 piece of food, and they've got the I mean, it's a question of, okay, what do you use for that wild food, right? It's either going to be the cherry or the rodent. But of course, if you're going raven digging, you want to make sure that you hang on to that rodent. So I don't know that that woodpecker in the tray. I mean, maybe you grab it for later if you're mother love, and certainly hope you're able to grab a hummingbird, a raven, or something. But yeah, they certainly can't count on being able to get that down anytime soon.
Yep. So we are only, what is that, 5 or so minutes into the stream, and we've already got our first slight technical difficulty. So please do bear with us. We're just going to try and hopefully get this back up and running very soon. All right, I think we are back up and running, and yeah, not too many surprises, I guess. Although we do have Wingspanner going for that second cavity nest bird in the woodpecker themselves. So I wonder if partly that was just a denial to stop mother love getting it. But obviously, now if they have 2 of those cavity nests down, then suddenly they're getting 2 eggs themselves, which is always a nice start.
Yeah. I mean, the only disadvantage for them at this point, no cherries in the tray. But I mean, two trips to the feeder, you could, if you wanted to, force that in there. Now you've got those couple of cavity birds, and and you'd easily be able to get the food to get that egret down and start picking up additional cards.
Ooh, now I was about to say that was a good pickup for mother love there, obviously getting that cavity nest. But yeah, the violet green swallow, I think he'll be disappointed to see that. And obviously, like we were just saying, you look at that bird feeder with all those worms, that's going to be really easy. And I do wonder now if maybe Wingspanner will prioritise that as their second cavity nest bird. But really the question is going to be where they play it. Normally we see that go in the grasslands, but you could potentially make a case for putting it in a different habitat here.
Sure. I mean, one argument, of course, is the wetlands, in which case you're kind of alternating between you're using your forest and your wetlands. You get the green swallow down in the wetlands. Then you start kind of cycling through cards. You can go back up, get the food, the eggs you need to play the cards. Or there's the other option, of course, is putting it in the forest, which gives you that nice scenario that we all hope for, of being able to do all 3 actions in one food. I mean, I guess you're not gaining cards, but at least you're tucking one and getting to cycle. So if you could pick up something like you've already got the one wetland bird and the egret, if you could pick up something like the ruddy duck or the red-breasted merganser, or something that's going to help you generate additional cards to tuck through that swallow. That could work there. But I think I would be inclined myself to put it in the wetlands, but because you've already got that woodpecker there. But I don't know. That's just kind of a hunch. I guess I don't have the data at hand.
Yeah, I mean, certainly I think they've got some options. So I will be interested to see at least where they do choose to put this. But yeah, just something from Mother Love's previous turn. They obviously had that vulture, but they discarded it for extra food. So what do you make of that? Obviously not having any of those cavity nests to get those 3 eggs.
Right. Well, I mean, it's a little bit of a problem early. Just it essentially becomes for Wingspanner, once they get another cavity nest bird, it becomes a 2-point turn for them.
Yep.
Plus the food that they're gaining. But you figure Motherlove's going to be looking at a lot of cards. They're like, okay, this only has one egg space anyway. It's not really doing anything else just other than gaining me that one egg. Is probably not, something where I want to go ahead and get this bird down just for that. When with the coot and the yellow throat, I'm going to be able to cycle through, a million birds and probably find a better one.
Yeah, absolutely. And this has been picked up in the chat. It's actually quite an equal start here, I think. Obviously, both players, I think, have got reasonable access to resources. Obviously, that Pelleted Woodpecker is such a strong bird for Wingspanner at the moment, just being able to avoid having to lay eggs, obviously getting the eggs at the same time as food, and then that Swallow's going to help as well with that second cavity nest. But actually, you look at Motherlove's board, it's pretty well-rounded. Obviously, as you said, lots of card access through the yellow throat, but the Blue Jay's a nice play as well. And with that Baird Sparrow they've just played, that's going to help them with this first end of round. And I think it's always nice when you can win those end of round goals, especially early on. Get those 4 points on the board, and you feel like you're off to a strong start.
Yeah, no, I think speaking of strong starts, I mean, Wingspanner has really, really phenomenal pickup in that chickadee.
Yep.
It pairs so well with the woodpecker. I mean, it's a strong bird in its own right in the early game, but it pairs so well with the woodpecker because they're going to be hammering that forest. They're going to be gaining a point every time they do it. It's 3 additional cavity nest spaces, so that's a great pickup. And as we see them go with the swallow in the forest now, kind of going all in on that habitat. I mean, maybe not.
Yeah, it's an interesting decision, I think, here, which to play first. I think you're right, that chickadee's a really nice bird, and certainly, I think for me, seeing that with the swallow, I would be leaning forward to go in the forest here. If you get both those down, for as long as Motherlove doesn't have that cavity nest bird, you're getting a clean 4 points, you're getting eggs, tuck cards, you're cycling through, and you're getting plenty of food at the same time. So, yeah, that feels like a really nice position for them. I think the swallow first makes sense. I think they're seeing that seed in the bird feeder, knowing they'll be able to pick that up and use that for the chickadee now.
Yeah, of course. The question is, right, which of these do you want to tuck? I mean, I guess, I think that red-headed woodpecker is probably the one. I mean, it does let you build out your forest and provide some, provide a bonus card. But even if you look at the difference in point values, it's like, even if it does give you a bonus card that ends up netting 5 points, that's what it would need to do to match the heron. Plus, the heron's going to help you build out the wetland and pick up an additional card. And you're kind of, you talked about recently. I don't remember if it was in a video or if we were just chatting, but you had mentioned about not wanting to waste a valuable spot in your grassland, right? Where, if you put a dud bird in there, even if it fulfills a short-term need, if you look at what you're giving up over the course of the game. And I think it's kind of a similar point here where, if you're Wingspanner, you're going to be relying on that forest so heavily, right? If you do try to drop that woodpecker down, or at least any sooner than you have to, that's a spot that, you don't know. Maybe there's still time for you to grab another nuthatch, or not another nuthatch, but you grab a nuthatch, wood duck, some other kind of valuable forest bird that would be generating you points versus that woodpecker. Of course, I see that they did go ahead and tuck the heron, and I see also that Motherlove has picked up the killdeer, having already built up their wetlands.
Yeah, that does always seem to happen in this game. You build up a strong habitat and then pick up one of these really strong birds that is going to work really well somewhere else. But with that blackbird, I think that's kind of the perfect time to pivot. So we see Wingspan, obviously, like we said, some options. I think probably that woodpecker is something I would have looked to tuck, and they've got some other good woodpeckers even in the tray that are going to give them more cavity nest spaces, and even more options for cached food as well throughout the game. So they certainly look like they've got a strong forest engine on their hands. But yeah, for Motherlove really, especially with the feeder setup as it is, they can grab the food they need to get this blackbird and killdeer down, and they can just sort of go to town really. And yeah, again, like with their wetlands, they're just going to be trying to filter through the deck and hopefully get some of those big point birds.
Yeah, I mean it's going to take them a few turns to kind of get that set up. So it looks like they've got spend the next 2 turns. You get the blackbird down, you get the killdeer down, and of course it's always important whenever possible you want to put the blackbird to the left of the killdeer so that you can you can tuck the card after you've drawn it. But yeah, and then so they do that the next 2 turns. Then they start kind of cycling those cards. They might look at picking up something like the red-headed woodpecker. Just get some that cavity nest space. Plus, they should be able to get that down fairly quickly because they can take whatever extra card they don't want to play, chuck that, and the blue jay will allow them to pick up a third seed from the feeder. So they might have a pretty strong setup here by the end of the round.
Yeah, I think certainly that red-headed woodpecker is something I would have looked at for Motherlove, but equally very sensible, I think, there for Wingspanner to take it. However, as is often the case in this game, you take one nice bird and reveal another nice one in the tray. So, yeah, I do wonder if Motherlove is going to have to just put their plan on pause for 1 turn here at least to pick up that robin, because that is such a nice bird. And yeah, going for cards, I think sensible. They've managed to get a trumpeter swan as well, which is really nice. And even that sandpiper with the food web expert, that's going to be 7 points for a single food. So that's a nice option as well. So yeah, I think all round good turn there for Motherlove. And yeah, they've still got this killdeer to play as well as that American robin.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that's a point for for some of the newer players to consider, right? Is okay, the swan's 9 points, but the sandpiper's 7, and it's a cost of 1 food versus a cost of 3 food. So it could be in the end maybe you end up ditching the swan in favor of the sandpiper. I mean, it depends on your food generation abilities and stuff, but just that's just something always you want to pay attention to is not only what a bird is going to give you, but what it's going to cost you in terms of food and eggs and turns.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's good to have options. So like you say, obviously the swan is kind of big points. You look at these 8-9 point birds as kind of instant plays, I think, in most scenarios. But yeah, they've got plenty of the game left. You can kind of assess, okay, what birds do I pick up through this killdeer, and can I increase my food generation? Because I think really at the moment it is good. I think just with that single blue jay, they are able to get 3 food. But if you can extend that out and get a bit more food, so you're able to afford birds like the trumpeter swan, then that's always nice. But yeah, I think pretty straightforward really for Motherlove at the moment. Just try and filter through the deck and get some of those big point birds.
Yeah, and actually, the pygmy nuthatch. Wait, I think I just saw a wood duck.
Ooh, you did. You did indeed. But it's Motherlove going first this round, so straight away, I think they'll be denying that. But equally, that black-chinned hummingbird, that could be a nice addition to this grasslands. Get that food as well.
Sure. Yeah, Elsie will.
Elsie definitely approves.
Yep. Yeah, she's jumping out of her seat to hear you say that. Oh my god, it finally has its moment.
And actually, it works quite well because it's going to give you the cherry, and you can use that cherry to potentially look at playing the robin as well. So yeah, I think Wingspanner will have been really happy to see that wood duck, and then instantly remembering that they're not going first and are not going to get the chance to pick up. So disappointing, but they still got a nice forest engine, and remember, still are the only player with that cavity nest, so they're still getting 2 eggs and not giving anything to their opponent, which that's always a nice position to be in.
Yeah, and unfortunately for Motherlove, I mean their 2 options are the pygmy nuthatch, which actually If they didn't have the hummingbird, I mean, you might even look at getting the nuthatch down.
Yeah.
You might look at getting the nuthatch down anyway. I suppose.
I think you can make a case for it. I think, it's that cavity nest, so it's going to help them get some free eggs. It's going to get them points. They're always going to have these extra cards, I think, with something like Killdeer, where you are drawing so many cards, and just that extra food. I think being able to get potentially 4 food in a single turn. If they are going to look to get birds like the Trumpeter Swan down, they're really going to need that heavy food production in their forest.
Yeah, I mean, you figure, all those things combined. Yeah, I think you're right on, because it's I think, what is it, 3 egg spaces or 4? I can't remember, but so it's plenty of egg space.
Yep.
You'll probably figure maybe 3 more tucks out of it, potentially. And then I guess helping you get the additional, because it gives you the option, right, of getting the grub or the
right.
seed. You've got the blue jay helping you get those extra seeds. So yeah, I think you're right. That was maybe a little better than I was thinking.
Yep, and we've got some good points in the chat as well. So we've seen Wingspanner. They picked out that woodpecker and put it in the wetlands. I think that's a pretty savvy play. They have been able to extend that wetlands out, get that extra card when they are going for cards. And I think because they've had so much control over this bird feeder, just through this forest engine, they can always make sure, okay, if I know I'm going to be drawing cards next turn, I can leave the seed there. And very sensibly, they've been caching the food on that woodpecker. Obviously, you get the option whether you want to keep it or cache it. And, when you're getting 3 food a turn from your forest, you don't need to keep it. So, I think this is really smart play, being able to just extend that out, and again, even more cavity nest spaces for that woodpecker to lay eggs into.
Yeah, and I just noticed they've got the looks like they've got the ash-throated flycatcher in their hand, which with their 5 cavity, I mean, that's going to be
absolutely,
that's going to be a 10-point play or something. And actually, it will be more than that when you consider, they already know with this end of round goal, they're not going to win it.
Yeah.
But that if they just make the ash-throated flycatcher their last play, that's going to be 4 points for the bird, 6 points for the eggs that it's laying, and then an additional 3 points for qualifying the end of round. So that's a 13-point play from one bird, which is incredible, and it just saves them from making a trip to their grassland to lay eggs as they might have to do if they weren't able to get a cavity nest bird to go in there. So that's just a huge pickup, and that's a bird. A lot of times newer players don't look for those kind of plays just because they don't come up all that often. But that's where this is one of those situations where that kind of bird, the ash-throated flycatcher, the Inca dove, the bobolink, those types of birds can really shine.
Yeah, 100%. I think normally something like the flycatcher, like you said, you'd normally see that played maybe really late in the game, sort of last turn or second to last turn, for that kind of huge point bomb. But absolutely, playing it here, you save that turn, not having to lay eggs. Ordinarily, they might have had to play something like the woodcock in their hand and then spend one of those turns laying eggs for just 2 or 3 points, and it does always feel a bit slow when you're playing like that. But here we go, we've got a raven for motherlove, so potentially a little bit too late. But when you've got something like the egret,
and an egret,
you could potentially be looking at that egret swan double play for a ridiculous number of points. So interesting dilemma, I think, here for motherlove, whether they try and get this raven down or not.
Yeah, that's tough, because and keep in mind also, I mean, the swan is the swan, of course, is a huge play in its own right. But as you're using your grasslands to gain the food for that egret double play, you're still drawing cards with the killdeer. I mean, you might pick up something like the spoonbill or the puffin, where it's you say forget about the swan. The swan is it's like that distracted boyfriend meme, right? Where the one girlfriend is the swan, and then the one that he's checking out is like the Atlantic puffin. So
Yeah. I think you're right. You kind of give yourself options there, and certainly they'll be seeing lots of cards with that killdeer. I think maybe ordinarily they would potentially still look to playing that Robin. Obviously, would be nice for that last end of round goal, but again, you kind of come back to the Wingspanners board, all of these cavity nests, but they still haven't been able to find this bowl nest, so that might be a challenge for them as we head into this last round, just trying to at least qualify for that last end of round and be able to get something there. But yeah, we do see Motherlove go for the rodents, and yeah, I think that makes sense. Get this Raven down. It's potentially late. We always talk about these kind of at what point it's too late for the Raven, but I think you can still make a case for it here, as we said with all these big point birds.
Yeah, I think so, and I think it does the thing that we've talked about a number of times too, which is when you have a Raven. Now, they don't, but they're about to,
Right.
and you've got your grasslands built out to that fifth spot. If there's food you're not going to use, because they're going to be getting 3 pieces of food per turn. They'll be able to convert maybe 1 or 2 of those into some eggs, depending on how many birds they're planning on playing. So yeah, it's like you say, it's there's always a debate of whether you want to play a late Raven, but as with any bird, you've got to ask yourself, what purpose is this serving? The reason there's debate over a late game Raven play is okay, is this, it's only 5 points, and it's going to cost me 2 eggs to play it. Is it worth is it worth it when I'm going to also then be spending an egg to get 2 food? But I think this is you're right, this is a kind of specific situation where it does make sense.
Yeah, and to be honest, it doesn't surprise me that Motherlove is spending a bit of time thinking about this turn. We know they're normally a very quick player. It's kind of go off instinct. Don't think too much about these kinds of things. But yeah, not hugely surprising that they did think a little bit there. Interesting that they have got rid of the Swan there, clearly prioritizing the kind of more efficient play in the Sandpiper. But yeah, I think they can get this Raven down. And although it is going to cost them eggs, I think they could potentially look at even discarding some food. If they are going to keep spamming this hummingbird, especially, that can then be discarded for extra eggs as well. So yeah, I think they're going to gamble on the deck a little bit more. Like you say, see if they can pick up something like a spoonbill or a whooping crane or a puffin or something like that. But I think they've still got some good options in their hand for this final round.
Sure. Well, yeah, and worst case, like you say with the Sandpiper, that's they're still looking at an 11-point play,
right,
with the Egret and the Sandpiper, when you account for the 2 points from the food web bonus card, and then deduct the 3 eggs that it would cost. So yeah.
And for 4 food, 11 points is pretty good when you can get access to that food so easily. But I think it is going to be an interesting final round. I have asked our viewers who they think is going to win this game, but I will throw that question now to you. Who do you think is in the stronger position right now?
Man, let's see. They've got. I don't know if I have to give the quick and dirty answer. I think I'm going to say Motherlove. Wingspanner, is looking at, and it's, Wingspanner needs that Warbler, because I was going to say they need to get a bonus bird down, or not a bonus bird, a bull nest, close enough. And then they're gonna spend that last. Yeah, I think Motherlove's in a slightly better position here, but I wouldn't be. Would I be surprised if Wingspanner ended up coming out ahead? No, I wouldn't. They've got, they're going to get the 6 points from that oologist. Their other one, I think, is ecologist. Maybe there's another play to be had there with what is that?
It looks like they're doing the double play
chicken
here.
Or the
yeah. So I think they're doing the double play to get big points there. I think they've kind of calculated their food here. I would hope so, at least. And yeah, I think they can still with 3 turns left,
Yeah.
you can play the Warbler on one turn. You can look
Is
to
that the
play
Longspur or the Chicken?
yeah, whichever one of those bonus card birds. You can get that in your grasslands. That's going to help with the ecologist, and you get a good shot at a bonus card. And yeah, they will have to spend that last turn laying eggs, which, as we touched on before, is always a bit of a shame when you're only getting 3 points for that. But you can think about it as many more points than that, because it's going to help with the end of round goal. It's going to help with that oologist you talked about. So I think all in all, yeah, pretty clear. At least what Wingspanner should be doing in this final round. And I think motherlove has got kind of a plan in their head as well. It all depends on the cards they've drawn, and certainly that Aureole is a good option to look at.
Yeah, and Wingspanner is maybe in a better position than I was giving him credit for. I don't know. I think I might be having a little buyer's remorse on this one.
I think it's going to depend on the bonus card partially. But you look at their other bonus cards, they're going to be scoring if they do play the Warbler and the other bonus card bird in the grasslands. That's 10 points from 2 bonus cards. And you look over at Motherlove, they're going to be getting potentially 4 at most if they do play that Sandpiper down. So not looking great there. But then end of round goals, I think Motherlove has had most of those pretty nailed on. So it's going to be interesting. I think it is difficult to call. It could well come down to that bonus card, I think, if Wingspanner chooses to gamble on that.
Yeah, and that's always exciting for the observers, maybe less so for the players. But
yep.
It's like, come on, man, what's that bonus card going to be? I mean, what are they, what are they hoping for out of it? They could get
Nest Box Builder, I think. That's the one.
Yeah, well, yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Nest Box OP.
Yeah.
But yeah, there's a lot of even point cards that they might get. I mean, Prairie Manager, Wetland Scientist, Forester. Let's see, the Viticulturalist. Yeah, there's a ton of options that they could hit with that to at least get 3 points from it.
Yeah, they are, however, going for the safe play, and you know what? I don't mind that one bit. I think this is something I've been talking about recently. Is kind of, at what point do you gamble and what point do you play it safe? I think when it is a 4-point difference like this, I always feel nervous. Gambling on that bonus card. I think it is partly going to depend how you feel in the game. If you feel like you're ahead or behind, do you need to take that gamble? But yeah, certainly. I think if I was in Wingspanner's position, I would have also played the Woodcock there and just taken the guaranteed points.
Yeah, I mean, I think it makes sense. And as you heard me ripping off examples of a bunch of bonus cards they could hit their 3 points. Well, right, do the math, Groove. Right, there's a 4-point difference. So, short of something like the Nest Box, I agree. I think that's absolutely the correct play. Particularly, I mean, they've got to be looking at this and thinking this is very much a winnable game. And anytime like you say, the less you need to gamble, then just go ahead with the safer play, take those 4 points.
Absolutely, and I think Motherlove's planned this out really well. This final round, scoring big points. They're getting sort of 6, 7, 8 points from that last turn, which is always really nice. And it is going to be very close, I think. I did ask the viewers, and we had 57% in favour of Motherlove and 42% for Wingspanner. So certainly very close. As we do watch the scores count up, it could well be within sort of 5 points or so. This does feel like a close one.
Oh, I wouldn't be surprised in the least.
Yeah, so Wingspanner obviously taking the early lead there with the bird points and the bonus cards, but I think this is where Motherlove's going to start coming back with all these eggs and tuck cards. But plenty of cash food for Wingspanner. It is going to be close, and there we have it. Wingspanner does indeed take it, and by 6 points. So probably wouldn't have mattered too much if they had gambled on that bonus card. But yeah, I think that kind of backs up the theory, at least, that if you feel like you are at least marginally ahead, then play it safe and take the guaranteed points. But yeah, very well played. 2 very strong scores, I think, there, and very, very good performance.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's a fantastic game, an exciting game, and yeah, lots of high level play going on right there. So
Absolutely.
I'm excited to enter the chat domain now, and I think we're gonna
Indeed.
I'm gonna be replaced by someone who's a little bit less monotone than me, which is not a high bar.
Absolutely. Well, thank you for joining me for that game. Certainly a good one. And yeah, as you said, we do have a change in the commentary booth. So I see we have Elsie with us. So hello, Elsie.
Hello. How are you
Hello.
today?
Very good, very good. How did you find that first game?
I thought it was beautifully played by both players, honestly. Like, you can really see the strategy here, especially with Wingspanner and the non-traditional engine. Like,
Absolutely.
there's a lot of bias in the Wingspan communities towards the traditional Kill Go Raven engine. And to see a Forest engine overtake that was really cool.
Yeah, and I think, Wingspanner is going to be feeling good. I think whenever you can beat an engine like that, as you see with the Killdeer and the Raven and the Blackbird, all these kind of big point-scoring birds in the grasslands, that is always such a nice feeling. But yeah, really, really impressive work and kind of an unconventional Forest engine. Normally we don't see these kind of things work unless you have something like a Wood Duck, but I think certainly that Violet Green Swallow, getting that down in the forest was a very smart play, and yeah, definitely helped Wingspanner there.
Agreed.
Alrighty, so we are straight into game 2, and I believe Wingspanner will be going first in this one. I'm just going to check that motherlove is aware that we are starting, as they still not quite over the defeat, perhaps, as they
ruminating on their loss.
Absolutely. All right, I think we are potentially ready to go.
Way.
All right, so as I said before, this is a best of 5 series, so I'm not quite sure, to be honest, how many games we'll be doing today. We might get through all of them, but certainly we'll get through a few to start off. So yeah, plenty of time at least for motherlove to be able to bring this back. So here we go with the starting hand, and some good options, I think, there for Wingspanner, both in the forest and in the wetlands. What would you look to keep here, Elsie?
Well, I am a White Start fan, definitely. I mean, you look at it and you see a lot of forest birds, but it wouldn't be a very reliable point-scoring engine if you went with the Screech Owl and the White Start. I think with the Omnivore Expert, I might go White Start and Blue Jay.
Yep.
And I'm not certain about the wetland birds, especially with that Osprey and the Tray. I might look to take... Well, is there a fish in the feeder? No, there's not.
There is one. There is a fish.
Is there?
Yeah, it's hiding behind the Screech Owl,
okay.
But it is there. But yeah, I think certainly White Start Blue Jay is a good start. The Shoveler I quite like here, particularly that first end of round goal. It's going to be really good for that. But also, the Blue Jay and the White Start are going to be giving you the exact food you need to be playing that Shoveler. So I think that feels like a fairly good set of 3 birds to keep at the start. Obviously, we saw the Blue Jay work out very nicely last game for Motherlove, so I think it's a good option here for Wingspanner to go for.
Agreed.
It's
interesting that they went straight. Yeah, they went straight for the Shoveler and then hesitated with the other things. That's sort of the opposite of what I did.
But... Yeah. I think it is interesting always to see kind of how players' minds work in this situation. And some players I talk to, it's kind of okay, I'll rule out 2 or 3 birds from the hand that I'm definitely not keeping, and then sort of work my way up from there. But I think Shoveler, is probably the instant keep, certainly a better option than the Bittern. I do wonder if they're thinking with the White Start and the Blue Jay, maybe one or the other. I think you can get away with both. Obviously, it's a bit slower. You can only keep 2 food, so you can play one, but then you're going to have to get food to get the other one down. So.
Oh, not the Screech Owl.
Yeah, I'm not sure about going for the Screech Owl here. Certainly, to me, of those 3 forest birds, it does feel like the slightly weaker option. I'm sure they can't already be looking ahead to that final end of round goal, but yeah, I'd certainly be looking at the White Start and the Blue Jay as preferences over something like the Screech Owl.
Maybe Wingspanner just really likes cavity nests.
Yeah, well, again, we saw the Blue Jay work out nicely for Motherlove last game, but the Screech Owl certainly, those cavity nests, like you say, really, really good for Wingspanner, but mostly due to the woodpecker, obviously, that they don't have hold of this time. But yeah, I think we've got some good questions in the chat about do you go for some of these tray birds? But I think I'm inclined to agree with the sort of consensus here, which is when you have a starting hand this good, you don't need to risk taking a card from the tray, because there is always that risk that you're going to reveal something even better for your opponent.
Agreed.
Yeah,
just trying to get the chat up one second.
Yeah, a lot of thinking for Wingspanner. Like you said, I think the shoveler kind of straight away they went for that, and it has been a bit of a debate back and forth with these forest birds, but I would be very surprised if they don't keep the Blue Jay. I think particularly with the Omnivore bonus card. Sometimes the Blue Jay gets a bit of a bad rap because it's only 3 points and it does cost 2 food. But if you have the Omnivore bonus, it is going to get you those 2 extra points, which I think really makes it a much, much stronger play in this position. And obviously flexible on the food cost is nice as well. So, yeah, there we go. They have, in the end, gone with what we suggested, which I think is the right play and certainly sets them off to a good start.
Well, of course you think it's the right play. You suggested
because
it.
I suggested it, exactly. So here we go with Motherlove starting hand. So they do have a tucking bird, which unsurprisingly they selected straight away, but not really any options for the forest. So perhaps the broadwing hawk or even the hummingbird in the tray is something they might look at.
So you've got one tucking bird, you've got the hummingbird in the tray, and you've got the harrier. Would you do it here or no?
I think it's risky when you don't have that egg source. Going for a full tuck like this is a risk. I know Motherlove does like the harrier in a full tuck. He's a big fan of that. But yeah, I would be leaning towards if you are going to go for the full tuck. And to be honest, even if not, I think 4 food and the gull is sensible. Not keeping the rodent, that kind of, although they are switching their mind a little bit there, I think they were kind of signalling a little bit there, if I'm not going to keep the rodent, it's pretty obvious I'm not going to be picking up that broad-winged hawk. So yeah, I think it's going to be interesting what they do go for here, but plenty of options. Knowing Motherlove, that full tuck is always going to be on his mind.
Yeah. Not great bonus cards for a full tuck, though.
No, I didn't see what they were.
It was the bull nest and
there we go.
Bird feeder.
Yeah, well, I was going to say maybe bowl nest kind of hints they're going to take hummingbird, but when the alternative is bird feeder, then not hugely surprising. And there we go, straight away denying that hummingbird. So that's very bold, I think, particularly given the starting birds they kept was quite greedy there. Obviously, it's good with the Omnivore expert, but yeah, I certainly didn't expect that to happen. So I wonder if Motherlove might be looking at this osprey now as a potential backup for food in their wetlands.
Yeah. The osprey and the pelican could be, well, it's the wrong pelican, but it'd make it easy to afford the pelican if you want to just use your wetlands entirely for food production. The thing I noticed first game, honestly, between the two of these players is that at the start they both had like half of an engine. Like, one of them had a couple of unreliable point scorers, the other one had some good point scorers and nothing to put them together with. Like, getting the right cards for a working wetland engine is actually really hard. Given how much we talk about going for full tuck, like, it's way more difficult than you would think it would be.
Yeah, I think certainly in this position it's a gamble, and to be honest, even if they could get their hands on that hummingbird for Motherlove, I think that still would have been a gamble just because you're not getting that egg generation, and you could be drawing and not finding anything, which is always a bit frustrating. So there we go, that's that's another food source. He is back indeed. You can't get too far away. Always going to happen once we've got you on commentary.
And the woodcock last game as well. It's my profile picture.
Absolutely. So yeah, they have gone for the extra cards here. I think that kind of makes sense. They're just going to try and get some tucks under this gull. Probably the bluebird, not what they're hoping for, but yeah, I wouldn't be surprised at all if we see them get this hummingbird down in their wetlands, and yeah, just keep drawing cards and try and find that blackbird or that bush tit or something that's going to help really sort of put the cherry on the top of this wetlands.
Yeah. I know the first time I tried to run a full tuck, I used the black-chinned hummingbird as my only food source, and it did not work very well.
Yeah, it's not the best. You know, when
especially
you're only
in a
getting
wetland
cherries.
engine.
Yeah, when you're only getting cherries, you know, there aren't a whole lot of birds that eat only cherries. I think, you know, I've had some good full tucks with something like the Phoebe. I think you can make that work because the worms, they're a bit more versatile.
Yeah.
You know, there's plenty more birds that you'd be looking to play. You know, that do eat those worms. So yeah, cherries a little bit more risky. Interesting, they chose to keep the seed, so I did wonder if maybe they'd go for the osprey as a kind of double up and just get that extra food. But I think potentially, you know, Mother Love's a smart player. They will be thinking, is my opponent going to play this hummingbird and give me a bit of free food as well?
Yeah, I'd say the osprey and the black-chinned hummingbird, that is too much food to be giving your opponent.
Yeah, I don't like giving away more than one of something to my opponent. So whether that's food or cards or eggs in a single turn, if I'm giving away one thing, I can make peace with that. But certainly, yeah, when you start giving away two or more foods, that's when it becomes very risky because, you know, it just makes it so much easier for your opponent to play birds. You know, they don't have to spend that turn gaining food, which is always a good turn saver, I think.
I am going to cut you off just to, well, we got all three hummingbirds out already.
That didn't take long.
But the waxwing for Motherlove here.
Yep.
Would you drop the full tuck idea and do a combo grassland wetland engine here?
I think you can get a nice hybrid sort of engine going on here. I know we saw this kind of strategy used by Geest in a stream maybe a few weeks ago, where they had the black-chinned hummingbird and the waxwing, and it kind of felt like, oh, it's too many cherries. You know, you're really not diversifying your food source. But I think it worked really well to be able to easily get it down. And there we go with the pelican.
Osprey and the white pelican.
Straight away, his mouse goes hovering over that osprey. Now, potentially, obviously, you could still look to tuck a bird here and maybe pick that up.
Both bluebirds.
And both bluebirds, and they eat cherries. So.
No.
Yeah, I don't mind that. I've seen this, and again, this is something I've discussed with a few people. I think I had a discussion with Davim about this recently. You know, using the osprey and these kind of white pelican style birds, it feels good because you're gaining fish and then you're getting rid of that fish for 2 points. But you often forget about all that fish that you're giving away.
Yeah, your opponent.
Yeah,
and then that would trash the black-chinned hummingbird as well. Like. Okay.
Yeah, I like this from Motherlove. I think, you know, they were always going to need to lay eggs at some point. Not just for this end of round goal, but, you know, actually being able to do something in this game and just be able to play birds. So I think being able to have something like the waxwing where they can get eggs, they can get tuck cards because they're going to be drawing plenty of birds they're not going to look to play. And yeah, it's a good option for them getting that extra food as well.
We've got some people in chat pointing out the 4 omnivore birds.
Yeah.
The Wingspanner's hand right now.
Absolutely. I'll be interested to see just how many of those they do get down. You know, I think when you see
and there's the canvas back too.
Yeah, when you see what Motherlove's starting to do, where they're not really relying on their forest, I think playing those hummingbirds is going to be risky if they're going to be activated. So, but they're good options. You know, basically 6 points for one food is almost unheard of in terms of, you know, regular play. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go down at some point, at least just as sort of padding out some of these habitats as well. But that king rail is such a nice pickup as well. Just extend the wetlands, get the extra card when you are going for cards, and yeah, hopefully a good bonus card here. Not great.
Well, it's still early.
It is still early.
I would take Falconer here.
I think Falconer's the better pick. You know, when you look at Prairie Manager, they've not got anything that works with that. There's not anything in the tray that works with that. And if they are going to be playing these hummingbirds potentially in the grasslands, that just takes up spaces. So yeah, I think Falconer's the one I'd lean towards. That, generally speaking, is a stronger bonus card to go for.
Especially with the skimmer in the tray, because that counts and it's 6 points. That'll get you up to 8 points for 2 food. Probably more like 4 food, because you can play it off of the berries that Motherlove is chucking at you all the time. But
yeah, I mean, I think it's going to be interesting how Wingspanner plays this, because obviously they've got some good food generating birds themselves. They've still got that blue jay they've kept from the start, and obviously these 2 hummingbirds. But the longer that your opponent is going to be giving you free cherries, you do start thinking, okay, is it worth spending turns building up this forest when I know I'm not going to be using it too many times? There's another tucking bird for Motherlove, so they'll be very happy with that, and I imagine that will be going down pretty quickly. And yeah, really, I think this is working out nicely for Motherlove. I really do. I think they can get this down. Suddenly you're getting 2 points, but that extra card cycle as well. We still haven't seen from either player any of these tuck and lay style birds. So the longer this goes on, the more likely they are to find one of those in the deck. So I think if I was in Motherlove's position, I'd be continuing with this, and hoping you can find one of those birds.
the shame for Motherlove if he is trying to pivot, because they got nothing in their hand to build up that grassland.
Yeah.
Like, there's a couple of birds that could go there, but oh wait, hold on. Condor play from Wingspanner is interesting here. You think that's for the end of round?
I think it is just for the end of round. It's interesting that you'd play it now. That feels a little bit early, because there's still 5 turns.
Picking up the large bird specialist with the largest bird in the game is great. No.
Yeah, that's nice, and I think that puts even more emphasis on something like that skimmer. They've already got 2 big birds.
Yeah.
The skimmer's going to be a third and help with that falconer. So, yeah, certainly some good options, I think, for Wingspan to look at. But yeah, it's this is going to be another interesting game. We already saw in game 1 some slightly unconventional early game setups, and I think this is sort of going down that route as well. But yeah, really for Motherlove, it's going to be all about trying to find that egg generating bird for their wetlands, and hopefully they can find it, because that's going to be really good for them.
Yeah. I don't know if I would say that this is we've got some people in chat saying that it's not sustainable for Motherlove. And Barn Swallow from Wingspanner there.
Yeah, they'll be wishing they didn't play that Condor now, I think. But still a good option. They can still get that down.
Yeah.
And just
hopefully
and the
cycle
through
bunting.
it. Yeah, bunting's an interesting one.
What's your opinion on the lizardly bunting?
Well, I don't want to give too much away, because I know there is a video coming out relatively soon on Tucker Cash where we talk a bit about some of the birds we think are overrated. I personally am not a huge fan of something like the bunting. I think particularly in this scenario, where you see your opponent, their strongest habitat is that wetland. They want to be activating that as much as possible and not going to their grasslands. If you're giving them free eggs with something like the bunting, you just give them even more turns, in that wetlands, and being able to save turns, not having to activate their grasslands. So, yeah, I wouldn't be looking to play it if I'm Wingspanner. I think they potentially can look to just get this barn swallow down. They've already got the food. Obviously, they can overpay a little bit, but they can then cycle through and look at some of those other big point birds in the tray to get down.
The amount of cherries in this game.
Yeah. So now Motherlove picked up the Morning Dove on their last turn. So that is obviously an egg generating bird. Probably not the one they were looking for, but is that something you might still look to play if you're in Motherlove's position? Me? Yes, you.
Fish crow. Yeah.
Ooh, and another tucking bird. Okay.
There we go. There it goes. Okay. I'm a big fan of the Morning Dove, honestly. I generally use it as I like it as a forest bird more than a it's not great as a wetland egg source for me. I think for Motherlove here, you got to pivot to grasslands, and it's a shame they've got the ingredients for a great forest engine, but it's just 2 rounds too late. But
I'm going to be very interested to see what Motherlove does here, because they've drawn some really good birds. Obviously, the fish crow we saw there was really good pick up for them.
And the violet green swallow went by as well.
And the violet green swallow. So I think they could potentially look at at switching up and going to the grass and say, even with something
You
like the
gotta pivot
Waxwing,
at this point.
you need lots of cards for the Waxwing because it's a terminal action. Something like the Violet Green Swallow, you tuck, but then you draw to replace that. You're not getting that with the Waxwing. But Motherlove spent all of these turns drawing birds, so they've got plenty to tuck. So yeah, wouldn't surprise me at all if they get the cherry here. That's then going to give them food to get that fish crow down, and hey, it's going to help for this end of round goal as well.
Can't even see the food costs on Motherlove's birds anymore.
No, it is getting to that point where they are going a little bit overboard on on some of these cards. But yeah, I think
Visionary Leader OP.
Yeah, that would be a nice pickup. But for sure, I think they've kind of got the ingredients now to be able to get something really good in this grasslands. I think if you get that fish crow down, as I would be expecting them to do here, that gets you a couple of food.
If they can find it.
If they can find it. And then you play that Violet Green Swallow, that's going to give you the card cycle, but also obviously all those extra points as well. I think that feels like the kind of natural progression here. And then you've got a big point grasslands that's really going to help. It's going to help Motherlove so much throughout the rest of this game. And they've got a bird like the Atlantic Puffin that's hiding somewhere in their hand. And yeah, the more spaces you can save, the more spaces you can save in your wetlands to get these big point birds down. There it is. And I think they've got the whipping crane as well, so they can potentially look at playing both of those later in the game.
Hey, and they've still got space for both of them.
Exactly. And yeah, that's what you get just by pivoting at the right time. You can save space for these big point birds. And I think something like the whipping crane is perfect here. We talked earlier about all these cherries you get from birds like the hummingbird and that waxwing. Not many birds are going to eat cherries, but something like the crane that basically eats anything and 3 of anything, you can just give it 3 cherries and that's so easy to get down.
So, as Wingspanner here, you would take the skimmer, yeah?
I think
or
I would.
Would you take the night heron?
I would look at the skimmer. The night heron obviously is
That's a
9
10-point
points.
bird.
Well, the night heron.
Egg cost.
Yeah, the night heron is more points but more food. So it's that balance between do I have the food generation to be able to sacrifice that? I think when you look at White Start and Blue Jay as they've got down, and obviously expecting maybe some free food from your opponent, but yeah, there's the bush tip. Probably a couple of turns too late. I think Motherlove quite frustrated to see that there. I think if it had come up, just that. Like I said, 1 turn, 2 turns sooner. They could have looked at getting that down, plus the fish crow, and that would have been a really nice tucking engine. But hey, there's the house finch. They could easily go and pick that up now as well. And it eats cherries.
Especially with that waxwing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I think I'd be looking to pick that up here and get that down. And really, for Motherlove, that's another good pickup. I think they're the blackbirds. They've got so many cards in their hand. I think they can afford 2 of these. This is kind of crazy how many tucking birds he's going to be playing in this. And was it Wingspanner who had the bird counter choice, or was that the previous game? I can't remember. That might have been the previous game. But that's something certainly you'd be looking at with all of these tucking birds that Motherlove's going to be getting down.
So, because Motherlove has this absolutely ridiculous amount of cards, they have the white-throated swift in their hand. Yep. Would you look at getting that down here as
100%.
your
100%.
4th grassland bird?
Yeah. I'd be looking to get that down, ordinarily. I think even playing one of these birds, like I said, with the waxwing, it can be risky, but he's just got so many cards, and I think the more times this shoveler gets activated as well, that's going to be even more for Motherlove to be tucking. And this is the point in the game where you'd be counting up the number of cards in your hand, you count up the number of turns, and see if it matches up. And I think, just kind of looking at how many birds Motherlove's got, they've got at least 15 birds in there, and, only 9 turns left. I think they can very easily be tucking 2 of those birds every turn and just scoring absolutely massive points.
It's interesting that we're in round 3 and there's so few birds down for both players.
And generally lower point birds. You kind of look at Wingspanner. Obviously, the shoveler and the rail is nice. I think we can expect that night heron to come down at some point. But a lot of these kind of 1 point birds, obviously the blue jay as well, 3 points. So Yeah, I think ordinarily you might expect a few more birds than this, but I think this is the point in the game where motherlove is just going to really explode with cards. They're going to be playing as many of these in their grasslands as possible, and that last round is really just going to be about laying eggs and getting a huge number of points.
Yeah. Motherlove is sort of like they need to get that white-throated swift down. That is a need at this point because the last goal is cavity nests and they don't have any.
Yeah, and I think just in general they need to get it down as soon as possible because they are starting to run out of turns. So, only 9 turns left. Obviously, once you play a bird, it's only 8 turns. So the sooner you can play these kind of birds, the more turns you give yourself to activate them. And yeah, I think that has to be Motherlove's priority here. Just get these huge brown power birds down as soon as possible and just start activating them.
Why does Wingspanner have 11 pieces of food?
Yeah, and I think this has been picked up a little bit in the chat as well. He's kind of gone a little bit overboard on collecting food. So he was looking at playing the bush tit on the previous turn, but then changed his mind and went for food. Obviously, he has got some good big point birds. The night heron we talked about. I think that bush tit's going to go down as well. But yeah, this certainly feels like a lot of food. Probably a bit more than they're going to need. Just given how many turns are left and how many of these birds they can realistically look at playing.
So Motherlove's elected to play the house finch first rather than the...
Yeah, I wonder partly if that's just to give them that card cycle, so potentially something might come up in the tray.
Yeah.
Potentially this turn.
What Motherlove needs is the Oriole here for the send around goal.
Yeah, he still needs something. And obviously not really being able to see the cards in his hand, it's kind of difficult to work out what he has got that could feasibly be played there. Obviously, we can see that yellow rumped warbler, but I don't think really that's something you'd be looking at going for. I do wonder, maybe the house finch, maybe that's there to allow him to pick up that Clark's Nutcracker and at least have a bird that's worth a decent number of points that you can then play in your forest and, at least qualify for this end of round goal.
Do you remember Motherlove's bonus card? Was it Bowl Nest?
I think it's Bowl Nest, so they've got 3 of those at the moment, and I'd imagine they should have no problem getting a 4th one down, so that should work out quite nicely for them.
Yes. Yeah, we've got chat disagreement on House Finch over the other one, White-throated Swift.
Yeah.
Duck and Lay.
Yeah, I'm not sure about it. I think you can make a case for either. I think Motherlove knows what he's doing, so he would have done that for a reason. Certainly, I'm not gonna go out here and say he doesn't know what he's doing, but certainly, I think he will have planned this out. And I don't know, he must have something in his hand that's going to go in that forest because really, at this point, you need something just to at least qualify for that end of round goal because giving up those 3 points is always a bit of a disappointment.
Yeah.
Now,
gotta be careful what you say in chat with Digger around. Oh.
So the bunting, we see the bunting is potentially going down here for Wingspanner. And, I know I said I didn't like it earlier. I think the situation has changed a bit. Obviously, you kind of see your opponent building up in that grassland. So, okay, they're already getting eggs. If I give them 1 free egg and get 2 myself, you kind of look at all these bowl nest spaces that Wingspanner's going to have. So I don't mind this. I think you can make a case for making this work. I think they just have to be careful now. Obviously, getting 7 eggs per activation is a huge number.
Oh my gosh.
They just need to be careful that they don't accidentally run out of egg space too soon here.
Yeah. I'm impressed that Motherlove has managed to skip the forest with the black-chinned hummingbird. Like, it's a little slow for them. Yeah. But they've got,
I think they've made it work.
They've got a decent setup.
Yeah. I think they have made it work. Obviously, it does come with the kind of caveat that you're giving all that free food to your opponent as well.
Yeah.
And certainly, I think Wingspanner has, earlier in the game, they really managed to make most of that and be able to get some of these birds down a little bit quicker. They lent away from their forest a bit, focused on playing these big point wetland birds, increase that card draw. That was just really a reaction, I think, to all those free cherries. But yeah, it is impressive, I think, how far Motherlove has managed to get. Obviously, the hummingbird and the waxwing just giving them cherries, and then now they've got that fish crow down. That's really going to help them diversify the food a little bit.
So since Motherlove does have the bluebirds in their hand. Would you look at doing a bluebird? Shoot, I cannot remember this bird. The white-throated swift.
Yeah. You
The
could,
humming,
you
like
could
the
look at doing
bluebird.
both. Yeah, you could potentially.
And that'd give them a ton more egg spaces. That's 5 egg spaces for the bluebirds.
Yeah,
They just have to lay eggs again
exactly.
and take the 0 on this.
I think that's what they're working out as well. You know, this is the point where you kind of calculate. You think, right, if I play a bird to qualify for this end of round goal, how many points do I get from the bird, and how many points do I get from the end of round? And you know, what's the alternative to that? Is the alternative playing something like the blackbird or the swift? And then you think about, you know, for the remainder of the game, how many more points is that going to get me? And sometimes it does work out better that way. You know, it might, or, you know, you might get easily distracted just going for that end of round goal when you don't really need to. You know, I always say it's a disappointment to miss out, especially on a third end of round goal like this. But it can be the play. It can make sense. And yeah, this is potentially one of those situations where it does make sense for motherlove to leave that.
You just have to think through it before you give
100%.
up on it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think they are kind of looking here, obviously, at the blackbird and the swift, like you said. You know, if you play both of those, how many eggs are you getting? How much space have you got? Obviously, playing birds like the blackbird and the swift now, they're really low point birds. So it you know, you've got to give yourself enough time to activate them. Obviously, only 2 points.
I'd 100% go swift over blackbird here.
Yeah. Oh, you need the cavity nest for sure.
You need the cavity nest and the flexibility. Like the blackbird, since they're not going to be spending eggs, the blackbird will fill up.
Yeah.
So.
Well, they do have that fish crow, which can help a little bit. But I think just being able to guarantee themselves a cavity nest, and you know, you look at the opponent and you go, okay, they've got the swallow and the bush tit. That's 2 star nests. If I play the swift here and then potentially the puffin later, that's also 2. But you know, equally they could lay eggs here and do one of those double plays with the bluebirds they've got, and then they'd be looking at 3. So I think that's partly what's coming into this calculation as well. You know, how many points can I eke out of this final end of round and make up perhaps for missing out on this third one.
Motherlove, no.
Yeah, it's an interesting.
Motherlove freeze up.
Yeah, and like happened in game 1. I think it was on this exact turn as well when he drew that raven. You know, he's normally a really quick player, kind of goes off instinct. You know, boom, 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 get these eggs down, get these tucks, get this food. But this is kind of one of those key decision points where you pause and you think and you calculate. And I don't blame them one bit for that. I think that makes sense. Yeah. And hey, Stella's J, I think that's potentially a good option. But no, they're going to get rid of it. So ignore me.
Well, they've taken the grain for the blackbird, which is interesting.
I wonder if they're going to do a bluebird.
Well, they wanted to play the blackbird last time.
Yeah, I think they might be doing bluebird, blackbird double play here. That's what I'd be looking at.
We need the photographer bonus card for this one.
Yeah, unfortunately, not available in the.
It's not an online play.
In the online mode, no, which is a shame. But yeah, that certainly would be a nice one to pick up.
At least Motherlove's not playing in French.
No, well, I think it's nice. I think it's nice. You know, we do. Obviously, it's a very multicultural server. We have players from all over the world, and I think that opportunity, I quite like it. You know, when we have these streams with players playing in other languages in different countries, and just being able to see that, I feel like I'm learning something. It's always interesting to see, I think.
Yeah, it's really interesting to see like the names in English that are so long, like 3 different words, and it'll be like 5 letters in another language. Like, that's interesting. Why are you taking the cormorant?
I do wonder about that as well. I think he's looking at potentially it's going to work for the bonus cards, so.
Oh, the omnivore, yeah.
Yeah, it works for the omnivore, but also large birds. So potentially, if they need that final large bird to push them over on that next threshold, then potentially you can make a case for that. But yeah, again, that's going to be one of those things that Wingspanner is going to be calculating here as we go into this final round.
I still like the white-throated swift over the blackbird here.
Yeah,
I know you said Motherlove knows what he's doing, but I still like the white-throated swift over the blackbird.
Yeah, I obviously the blackbird is helping with the bonus card. So potentially if they
Oh, I forgot about that.
That gets them to
That's
4.
their 4th one, isn't it?
Yeah, but it all depends on what else they're going to do. Whether they look to get this puffin down, obviously that's then going to be 5. So, maybe if you played the puffin anyway, that would have already got you to that threshold. But yeah, I'm not sure really at this point if Motherlove can afford to just lay eggs for 5 turns. I think they're going to fill up, especially if Wingspanner's going to be using this bunting as well to give 3 eggs. So
Motherlove needs to not deny this bunting here. There's no point.
I don't know.
Actually, we can just chuck it for food. So
yeah,
never mind.
I don't mind the denial there. I think Wingspanner's obviously going to be looking for bowl nest spaces with that bunting. So I think that is not an unreasonable denial there. I think for
but why
why
deny the bunting and not the flycatcher?
I think potentially the bunting's more points. I think if egg space is the problem, obviously got 2 more egg spaces, and also gives you that shot at a bonus card. So I probably would have been looking at going for that bunting over the flycatcher. But yeah, they're both good options, and potentially, maybe Wingspanner might look at still picking up something like the flycatcher because it is still 6 points after the eggs.
Yeah. And they've got the berries for the flycatcher as well. So
yeah, exactly.
What's going on? Oh, the woodpecker. Okay.
Yeah, and that's another one of those cavity nest birds.
That's a game to commentate on because every card is a surprise. You can't see any of them.
Yeah, I think this makes sense. I think they're just trying to secure this end of round goal position. I mean, it is one of those that can wait. So I talk about this a lot, about this kind of patience, and if you don't need to play a bird, why play it? With a bonus card, maybe giving yourself that extra turn to see it, to kind of guide your play. But yeah, I think they can think a little bit. They need to plan. If you're still going to meet this large bird bonus card, how many of these other birds are you going to look to play? How much food do you need for those? At this point, is it worth going for food when you've got a massive engine in the grasses like this that's going to score you a huge number of points?
Yeah.
Yeah, so
I think the end game's the end game's set for Motherlove, I think.
Yeah.
Because they've taken that fish, they're trying to get the puffin down.
100%. Yeah.
Sad that neither of those hummingbirds got played.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting, and we did talk about it as a cheap 1 food, 6 points potentially, and just a huge number of these omnivore birds that Wingspanner has managed to find.
I didn't even see that kingfisher come past the first time.
No, so I think they would have looked to playing that, but it doesn't help the large bird bonus. So they do have some decisions to make. I think they'll need to check their bonus cards carefully and just make sure they're playing the right ones. We still have this falconer that they picked up before that they've not managed to get anything for, which is always a bit of a shame, I feel. But I have just asked our viewers who they think is going to win this game too, and I'll throw that question over to you now as well.
Well, I am a Motherlove fan, just in general, but I think
just in general.
Well, no, he's a very nice dude.
He knows what he's doing.
He knows what he's doing. Yeah. He's not very nice, actually, but yeah, I think Motherlove's setup just looks more cohesive to me, and I'm impressed that they've managed to pull it off. I don't know. It doesn't feel like a high-scoring game to me, so I might be undervaluing the amount of tucks that Motherlove has, but it doesn't feel like it's going to be another almost 100 game on both sides.
I think there's potential. I think there are going to be a lot of tuck cards. Motherlove really, like you say, pretty straightforward endgame.
It's Visionary Leader.
Yeah, nice pickup though. I think Wetland Scientist kind of leads you even more to be playing some of those big, large birds for the wetlands. But yeah, really, both players kind of similar setups. I think by the end, you're laying eggs and you're scoring 7, 8, 9 points a turn, which is just huge. And so they might have come into this final round a little bit further behind. But really, I think this has been very smooth. And really, I think for Motherlove, the key decision is going to be: do I lay eggs twice and play the puffin, or do I lay eggs once and get the puffin and the crane down? It looks like with the discarding of the cherry, at least, they are kind of committing and going for just the puffin, which I think when you've got an engine like this that scores so many points through eggs and tuck cards, absolutely is a reasonable play to do.
There's that killdeer again.
There's the killdeer. Certainly too late for that. So bye-bye, killdeer. You're getting tucked.
It's always such a fun thing to do.
It
is
does feel
tough to
very
power
satisfying.
four.
Yeah. I don't need you anymore. I've been able to cope without you. All right, so we
Got
do
somebody in
see.
chat saying that Motherlove is looking for the omnivore bonus, which
Yeah.
they wouldn't get. Well, they'd get 8 points off of it.
Yeah, that would
So
certainly be
that's
nice.
already-
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
Kingfisher doesn't qualify for large bird specialist.
It does not. I do wonder if they kind of looked at that, obviously with that latest pickup, and for Wingspanner, you kind of think, right, just take what I can get. It's going to help for the omnivore, so a couple of extra points. It helps complete that wetland scientist, at least on the lower threshold. So, not a bad pickup, I think, for Motherlove. 3 points from Fishery Manager. You certainly take that.
Yeah, and the Kingfisher is actually great for Wingspanner because they get the fish from this. They can take the worm and the rat out of the feeder and then get that night heron down. But also, I think running their grasslands is more points, right?
Yeah, I mean, just when you, certainly after that Kingfisher play, I mean, just look at how many egg spaces they've got. It's kind of ridiculous. And they've got enough cards to tuck. Certainly, they're not going to run out of egg space. So, yeah, what's that? Basically, like 7 or 8 points for the last 2 turns. You always take that. That's a really strong final couple of turns for Wingspanner. Oh, and I think we have a timer bug. We couldn't quite get to the end.
Well, when it crashes like that, generally it doesn't save your turn. Because it happens to me a lot. My internet likes to blink on me. But
I
we
find,
did bug it.
Yeah, I find that it does save your turn, but it then leaves you stuck on the other place. So I will just ping Motherlove.
Yeah.
But I think
We got you your episode title though, the one with all the timer bugs.
Exactly. I think this is going to be. This is looking like it's going to be a win for Motherlove. Certainly, the chat overwhelmingly backing Motherlove at this point, and certainly, I think it's going to be close again. I think it is going to be relatively high scoring. There was a reasonable amount of co-op from both players. Obviously, this bunting, and we had the black-chinned hummingbird early in the game. So, whenever you have these sort of cooperative actions, that does tend to inflate the scores just a little bit. But big scores from the tuck cards really, and eggs really, both players as well. So it might just come down to some of those missed bonus cards for Wingspanner. They've got large birds and the falconer, and 0 points from both of those is quite disappointing.
Oh, did they zero out large birds?
I think they did, because they've only got the shoveler and the condor, so just ran out of time a little bit there. So they will get 6 from the omnivore and 3 from wetland scientist, but 9 points from 4 bonus cards. I think you'd be hoping for a lot better than that.
Yeah.
All right, and one
I'm
final free egg.
reluctant to try to go for the heavy bonus card strategies. Like
it's risky, because you can end up in a position like this where you don't get many points. But here we go. Scores are going to count up, and it does obviously low points, I think, from birds from both players. But this is really, I think, the eggs and all these tuck cards is where it looks like it's going to bring it back for Motherlove at least. So should be.
It's amazing how well. Oh, whoa!
And there we go.
Oh, yeah, I was completely wrong.
He takes it 109 to 93. Just that massive number of tuck cards, I think, at the end is what did it for Motherlove.
So we are sitting at 1-1.
Absolutely, always exciting. And this is ordinarily the point where you have this deciding game 3, but because we're in a best of 5, it's all to play for. It's basically, we've got those first 2 games out of the way, and now we are in this best of 3 scenario. So two really good games. I think both players in the 90s or 100s in both games. So that's always really, really impressive to see. So I think well played there.
Very well played from both.
Indeed. So before we head into this game 3, I think we might be having
we have a switch off.
We might be having another switch in the commentary, but in the meantime, just who do you fancy for this series? Who do you think is gonna come on through? We've seen 2 very good performances from both players in both games, so certainly all to play for.
Well, I'm not qualified to speak on this topic because I've never actually played either of these people. I have talked with motherlove a lot, but I've never actually played him. Wingspanner, I know, has been around for a while. Like, they both have.
Yeah.
Um,
Both very experienced.
yeah.
Yeah, I think this game
I'm
in
gonna-
particular shows when motherlove gets those tucking birds, you're always in danger. I always feel very worried when I'm playing against motherlove, and even just one tucking bird starting with that gull, you already look at that, you think, this is not going to go well. But yeah, certainly worked out well for him in the end.
It's interesting that motherlove has taken 1 bird and 4 food in both games. Like,
yeah, and
it's not something I normally look to do, but I think in both games it's worked out very well.
I think it can work out. It is obviously a gamble. I think when you don't have those strong birds in the hand, you kind of have to gamble a bit on the deck. But yeah, there we go. All right, we do have Tay in the house, so I'm going to hand it over. The floor is all yours. Good luck.
All right, thank you, Flan. Hello, Elsie.
Hello.
Here we go again.
Yep.
It's been a while. I don't remember the last time I commentated with you.
I think it's been like once, and then we goofed off too much, and then everyone's just like...
I just remember all the good time, but it was a while ago, I know.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, glad to be back. And well, this is not my channel, so, we can do what we want. And Flan is not here to stop us.
Oh, he is here. He's running the stream. He can shut it off during the score count up again.
All right, Elsie, is that how you want to start this stream? All right, so what do we have going on? Are the players, do they know they're going?
They should.
Okay.
Let me just...
Yeah.
Hold
I
on.
guess someone can text them. Yeah.
Yeah.
In any case, great first 2 games. Really top tier games there by both players. Very impressive.
Agreed. We've got... Okay, so we do have the invite sending over right now.
Yep. So who is starting this game?
I think Motherlove should be starting.
Okay. Ooh, look at that. I already got a sneak peek. Come on.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, here's the
Counter
thing.
than the fish bro.
They're both like counter to each other, so that's
True.
fair. They each get one of them. Ooh. But
Okay.
not gonna lie, this is pretty good for Motherlove here with the snipe and sparrow.
Which sparrow?
The chipping sparrow, obviously.
Okay. Well, I know you're a song sparrow fan, so I just wanted to check.
Hey, don't spread things like this. I never say I'm a song sparrow fan.
I trashed on the song sparrow once and got yelled at to watch the tier list for 2 weeks. So
Wow. We are just giving, the appropriate credit to Song Sparrow, but I wouldn't go that far and say I'm a fan.
why is he keeping a fish?
Well,
crow?
they need it for the fish crow.
True.
Yeah.
So do you think chipping sparrow is still going to go in the forest here? If they're looking at keeping the fish crow?
Probably in the grassland. Actually, now that I think about it, it can be kind of risky to run a chirping sparrow in the grassland because there's just not that many egg space around.
Yeah.
But putting that really push you to 3 eggs and then you're spending 1. So look at this.
Oh, switch the sparrows.
I know. Actually, I'm not hating on this because this gives you some flexibility. It gives you better card draw, and the egg space is gonna help with the second end of round goals too. So yeah, actually that's not a bad play.
Especially with the fish crow, you can have the song sparrow bouncing around between the habitats.
Yep, and it's
The
gonna
yellow
be
throat is nice.
yeah. I mean, always when you see the
Yes.
yellow throat or the grebe, the keyword here, you know what I'm gonna say already, but I'm still gonna say it. It's basically a peak setup for Raven digging here.
No.
you just
It took me too long to realize where you're going with that.
yeah. I mean, you just can't ignore it. It's just part of Wingspan, you know. It's just how like, you know, Killdeer engine is part of Wingspan, like Raven digging is just part of Wingspan.
Got the hot takes already here.
Yeah. Well,
Would you keep any of the other three here? Because I don't think I would.
yeah, probably not. I mean, the best case here, again, you know, try to dig for that forest bird or raven or crow. I wonder if they're gonna pick up that that cowbird.
Yeah, that'd be nice.
I think it's
They
worth
kept-
it. Yeah.
I think they're going for the sapsucker because they kept the berry instead of the fish.
That is good too. So it guarantee, you know, you a forest.
Yeah.
Oh no,
You don't have the food to play all three of those.
I know.
They could
But
have kept. Yeah, they could have kept the three.
yeah.
Oh,
I guess
okay.
they're gambling on motherlove not picking up that sapsucker, you know, because they already
Yeah.
pick up the fish crow, so they have a little bit of leeway before. Okay.
I do want to do a sort of unorthodox shout out because it's not one to the two channels, but we have Wingspan Gaming in chat here.
Oh yeah.
And they've got a great article on the 2-for-1 card draw gambit, which I think is the they call the Ruddy Duck archetype, which is the draw 2 discard 1. And it was a really great article for me because I had never considered like the actual probability of, as you say, raven digging.
Yeah. Well, we need to give a shout out to Flan's math series as well. They specifically address the raven digging statistics. So if you're interested, please check out the video.
I think Flan said don't do it though.
Don't do what?
Raven dig.
I don't.
It's not that he didn't say don't do it. He said it's unlikely to work. Well, actually, okay, I don't remember what he said, but I doubt that he supported your.
It was a lot of hot take in that math video because Flan basically disputed Raven digging and disputed Rule 16, which we have seen time after times on stream. So just gonna put it out there.
Okay. It's a confirmation bias though, because if you're specifically looking for good cards that come up when you talk to the trade, you're never gonna. Okay. Blah blah blah. Yeah.
Okay, now
nobody knows what confirmation bias is. I'm not talking about like infrastructure and economics, okay? I'm a psychology person.
All right, I'll give you that. But back to the game. Sorry, we shouldn't get too distracted. I'm a little bit concerned that Wingspanner has been kind of aggressive picking up cards here.
Yeah, it is going to slow him down a decent amount, but
especially that spotted owl seems kind of
the rodentologist. I think that's why they grabbed it.
But still, yeah. It's also interesting they put down the egret. I guess, yeah.
First?
Yeah. I would put down the yellow.
Yeah. I saw them look at playing the yellow thread earlier, but
I know why, because they needed to win or qualify for the first and the round goal here, so.
Oh, yeah, that'll do it.
Yeah, I guess now they are just getting ready for round 2 trade pickup, as we have seen in many games. Oh, wait, what? Okay. I don't know if that cowbird is necessary here. I will have lay egg and play the yellow throw to set up for the second round draw here.
Yeah, and especially because they don't have any spots to take it. So when motherlove lays eggs here, it's a wasted cowbird activation.
Yeah, so a little bit questionable play there. Too premature for that cowbird.
Yeah.
Again, as we all know, second round trade can always be very game changing here. So they're both eyeing on that. Yeah, it's kind of So
the Kingfisher doesn't. Okay, I'm very biased towards Kingfisher because I played it in my first game, and now it's just like
stuck with you.
Yeah. Well, I
What's the
played it in a
psychology term for that?
there's not a term for it, but it is a documented phenomenon.
Yeah.
But the
Like some kind of fixation or something.
no, it's not Freud. Okay, the flycatcher pickup for Motherlove is interesting.
It's good because
They
look at
already-
the
Yeah, they've got two of the they've got the carry in the world.
Are you losing word here? Should I be concerned?
Okay, I sound like this all the time.
Okay. Yeah, so Motherlove, the flycatcher is nice because now they have a perfect food engine in the grassland. They have 2 food, and then that blackbird, no, not the blackbird, the black tern is gonna help them with the card draw, and the flycatcher is good for the bonus card too. Yeah, when you have a yellow throw, you definitely don't want to see a bunch of forest bird here.
But wouldn't you want to see a bunch of forest birds? Because,
I mean, the end goal is always, have a good grassland engine. So I would rather see,
true.
guarantee some good grassland engine. So
I think,
wow.
Yeah, Winging It in chat is saying that he thinks that Wingspanner is doing this card gambit draw, and I think it's. It feels risky to me to be doing it.
Yeah, I
I'm
mean,
going to say that he's doing it really late, but it's like the middle of round 2.
Yeah.
But I think at this point, it's sort of getting to the point where you just have to go with what you have.
Yeah. If I'm either Motherlove or Wingspanner, I'll pick up that Swift, right? Especially for Wingspanner. They just have so many cards. That Swift is going to be so good for late game.
There it goes.
Yep.
But again, this is I don't know. I wish we had a counter on the action cubes here, because I think this is the 6th time Wingspanner's drawing cards.
Yeah, I know.
A lot of cards going through.
All right, we have an obligatory shout out for the bunting for Winging It favorite birds that just show up. I guess show up 2 turns ago. It's the second card in Wingspanner and it's buried in there.
Yeah.
Did you just say that? You might get banned. I'm just saying. You better watch out.
I didn't say anything. I made a noise.
You make a noise that's worth disapproving.
Oh no, that was disapproving of the amount of cards in his hand rather than the bunting.
Yeah.
I'm also a bunting fan. We're forgetting about the end of round goals again.
Yeah.
Which Wingspanner cannot currently qualify for because of that cowbird.
No, it doesn't. It's eggs in grassland.
Yeah. I said cannot currently qualify.
Oh, cannot. Oh, sorry, I did not
so
hear.
he's got to get something else down there. Maybe the Swift?
Yeah, now it's really awkward because, they have to qualify for that or they give that up, but there's not enough turns. Agree with Winging It that, things are looking pretty strong for Motherlove here.
Yeah, I think Motherlove's got that good food generating grasslands that you're looking for.
All they need is more egg space for sure. And again, the round 3 trade is going to be, game changing for Motherlove here. It depends on whether they can pick up some big point birds or, like some double bird that extend their egg spaces.
Yeah. They do need, I think what Motherlove really needs is a tucking bird right now, even if it's just a tucking lay.
I think tuck and draw probably better here. Just
tuck
looking
and draw
at
is better. Yes, I will agree. But they need something to ditch these birds, because especially the forest birds, I doubt they're gonna play. Oh, that's okay. Flicker is interesting here. I like that.
Yeah, I mean it's good. They extend their. Wait, did they pick up all the?
They only picked up one worm. Did you see the cursor?
Was that a bug? Or was that a
he clicked on one and then accidentally skipped it and confirmed, and then freaked out and wiggled his cursor everywhere.
Wow, that was this is gonna be classic. Like I can just
Oh.
see memes coming already.
That's the worst.
Yeah,
No, I've
that
done
is.
that. Yeah. I've done that before, like accidentally clicking on the deck instead of the first card in the tray, and it's the worst feeling
Oh,
ever.
that's horrible. But yeah, I mean that flicker would have been a nice play, like with 2 grub, extending the X spaces and qualify for 3rd end of round and 4th end of round. It's all
Yeah.
overall good play. But yeah, that missing that 1 grub is hilarious.
Oh.
All
We're
right, what do
getting
we
called
have
an
here?
old married couple in chat.
Oh, come on. That's inappropriate, man.
Blame
Oh, wow.
Gertie, not me.
Wow,
Oh.
this is interesting.
Hmm.
I wasn't expecting that. I mean, it's a big point, but that number of eggs that you're generating is, fire.
That's a lot of eggs.
Oh, look at this. Good pickup by Wingspanner there with the purple swallow. They got the...
Yes.
And it's perfect setup because they just play the Swift, so this will go after the Swift, so they will have like maximized
nice.
value for their card.
Is this the 3rd game in a row that Wingspanner has picked up Violet Green Swallow? Because I know they had
I
it in
don't
the
remember
first
the
game.
second game.
Maybe
I think second
not.
game
I
they
don't
have the Barn Swallow.
know. Barn Swallow, yes. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Guess if it was 3 games in a row, that'd be pretty.
Yeah.
Funny.
Okay. Motherlove really needs some good cards here.
Yeah.
Because now with that purple swallow, Wingspanner card problem just suddenly
Turned into points.
turn into points and solve a lot of the problem. They are still
The
gonna run
horn-
into. Yeah.
Yeah, the
Go.
horned lark is interesting.
I don't
don't
think
know
I
if I
like
would've
it
taken
either. Yeah, I don't
Oh,
think I like
growing
it
out.
either. Because
What's
it
their-
takes.
What's their bonus card? It's one of the 2 to 3s. Is it? I'm guessing it's Prairie Manager?
Who? Motherlove?
Yeah.
It's viticulturalist.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yep.
Well, they're doing good on that.
Yeah, I don't think I like the Hornlark either because it takes two more turns to set up, and if Wingspanner is smart, they saw Motherlove pick up that Hornlark, they should play the purple swallow here right away. So
Yeah.
that's missing 1 tug already.
Put it down.
But it does expand the X spaces, but the borrowing owl is just as good, I guess.
Yeah, I'd prefer Burrowing Owl over the Horned Lark here, because the Horned Lark you have to feed from your hand, and it doesn't give you anything to replace it. Like, it's just 1 point. Its
Look
thing's
at
just
this. Wingspanner
Oh.
should play the purple swallow.
What is happening?
I think they did not pay attention that the Hornlark got picked up, and
Ouch.
yeah, that's just gonna be a
Um,
free point for Motherlove there.
Which would you take between these 2?
Um,
Like, you can see Wingspanner going through their hand looking for qualifying birds.
I
and don't-
think the swallow doesn't apply, so maybe the breeding manager just at least for
Do they
1
have any
point.
down that can take 4 though?
Yellow throne.
Yellow threat? But
Yeah.
the bunting qualifies for passerine specialist, and they already had 2 tiny birds.
Yeah, but I don't think they're gonna play the bunting though.
Mm.
Look at this free point for Motherlove here. Yeah, that's the key. Like you really gotta pay attention to what cards your opponent pick up.
Mm-hmm.
Because that
Horned
woodpecker
might actually be useful for something.
Yeah. I mean that woodpecker really has no reason to go down that turn. Oh wow.
Wingspanner really likes bonus cards.
They're really gambling on bonus card and also the end of round go here.
There's that bird counter, so that'll be great with the swallow if they do get it down.
Yep.
Don't take platform builder. Why are you? Oh my god.
I mean, they're looking at the wood store, but that's only wood store. They still have to play 1 more.
They just gave up a guaranteed 2 points to potentially get 4 with 2 more points down. That does not seem That's bad economics.
Yeah, a little bit questionable choices there.
Yeah.
But I can see why. Yeah, the problem with Wingspanner is like it would be really nice for them to have the purple swallow and swift set up, but they're gonna run into X space problem very quickly. They only have 16 X space, so they do need to play some of this forest bird. And yeah,
Someone's pointed out that Wingspanner has the Roadrunner and the Stork, which will get them to that lower tier of platform builder with 2.
But just the swift is also 4 points, so
Yeah.
and it's more like food effective because look at their food now. Like they don't have enough food to play both the stork and the roadrunner. Like if they went with the swift, they can just like play the swift and then play a big point bird, so the roadrunner.
Once motherlove starts activating that grassland again, they're gonna be throwing worms. So, oh, no rats on the reroll.
Yeah, I wouldn't pick up food so aggressively. I would have just played some bird and wait for some free food from motherlove and see what's going on.
Especially at the end of the round. Like, I think looking at motherlove's board, it's pretty clear that they're going to be running that grasslands as their end game.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. So yeah, that's exactly, like what's now? Now it's Wingspanner. Don't pick up cards. They're playing a little bit fast here, I'm not gonna lie. I'm not sure if this is all very well thought out here.
Today's game is motherlove aggressively wiggling their cursor around in annoyance. Because when that blackbird came up in the tray.
Yeah. Okay, look at this.
Food web expert.
Let's go.
Or the large bird. Well,
Oh,
Roadrunner doesn't qualify. So yeah, food web expert. Guaranteed 4.
Yeah. You see, I think the food web with the bird counter. I don't know.
Food web and bird counter is a good synergy between the two of them. But so now why is motherlove picking cards?
Motherlove picking cards?
Yeah, they're looking for cards to get the, because they need cards to play with that food generating grasslands. They don't have any card draw in their grasslands, so they need.
Yeah, not gonna lie, motherlove card draw has been kind of unfortunate, but I guess with the owl and double play, it's still solid points,
Yeah.
Okay, why not? Wait, you gotta make sure you play the swallow here because.
I think it's too late for the swallow.
But swallow has the food web though.
But Roadrunner completes their the large bird specialist. So
no, it doesn't complete large bird.
It they need it to hit the lower tier. Sorry, platform builder.
Platform. Yeah, I would argue that if you play the swift, you get.
They already have the swift down.
Oh no, the swallow.
Yeah.
With swallow, you guarantee point, and you can turn some food into point.
But the swallow's 3 points, and it's only 2 with the food web expert.
Yeah.
And so that's a 4-point play. The Roadrunner is 7 plus the 4 for the platform builder -1, which is 10.
Yeah.
And you're potentially getting more points when you activate your grasslands for 3 turns. So.
All right. Yeah, maybe that's a better play here. Okay.
Oh, and with Roadnologist.
Okay.
Do they have anything that qualifies for breeding manager? Just the yellow.
Just the yellow throat. Yeah, 1 point. Yeah, mother.
I think it is too late for the swallow.
Okay.
Just in terms of egg cost.
Yeah, I mean, Winging it also point out that they could have played both Swallow and Roadrunner.
Yeah, but then it's definitely too late because you're playing a 3-point bird in your 2-point slot.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like this is going to be another close game. What do you think?
I think Wingspanner definitely has the edge on bird points. Well, actually no. They have the edge on birds played, but Motherlove has the the more expensive birds.
Yeah. Oh, look at
So-
this. So Swallow here is 3 points.
Minus
Plus, it might
plus
help
2,
them to
minus
win the
2.
end of round.
Yeah. Yeah.
If it helped them to win the end of round, then it's worth it, I think.
True. Yeah.
Yeah, this is a tough call. I'm not sure. I think it might be close, but I kind of feeling for Wingspanner here just because with the unfortunate card draw by motherlove, they couldn't draw any big point birds.
Yeah. I gotta say I'm very impressed with anyone who can remember what bonus cards Wingspanner has. Like there's people in chat going, "Oh, he has Phrenologist." I'm like, "What? Hello?"
Yeah. Well, this is gonna be another close one, I would say. Very interesting.
So Motherlove's going, I think, for the double. Excuse me. Is Motherlove? Wait, can we look at Motherlove's board? Okay, so that's 3 viticulturalist birds. So if they do the double play with that woodpecker, they were looking at doing the woodpecker and the screech owl, which is 7 minus 2 plus 3 or 4 for the plus 4. So
yeah, actually that's pretty good.
Yeah. And it gives them a lot more cavity nest spots.
Yeah, that is certainly a
So-
very nice late double play for Motherlove here.
I think I would have done that earlier. Like, if you
I mean,
look, Motherlove's almost out of spots.
Yeah, but
And they
they
laid
just
eggs
have 2
last turn.
turns, so
Did they have the food to do it last turn or no? I don't think they
I
had
don't
food,
think so.
actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, just look at the number of cards in Wingspanner hand, then you know they pick up cards to like maybe 1 or 2 turns too many, at least 1
Yeah.
turns too many. That's always a, you always sad to see that.
It is like impressive the amount of birds that they got down though, especially because they weren't drawing food too many times. I think this is what happens when your opponent is throwing you food the whole game.
Yeah, this is very close. Again, what does the chat think? We have a poll going up. Looks like most people are going for Wingspanner here, but it's hard to say with this end of round goal come back by Motherlove though, so I won't be surprised if it go to Motherlove.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I think this is going to be very close. But again, we are playing best out of 5, so they are tied
Yes.
1-1 now. So even with this, that's just 2-1. Definitely put a lot of pressure on the other person to win 2 in a row. But winning this is still going to be huge, but it's not the end of the game here.
Has somebody been submitting these in the Discord? Anybody know?
Submitting what? Like the game results?
Screenshots. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Motherlove did right after
Okay.
the game.
Good job.
All right.
Motherlove.
Ooh, this is going to be a huge suspense here.
Don't end the stream in the middle of it now.
Oh, if it come down to 1 or 2 points, like Wingspanner is gonna kick themselves for not playing, their grassland bird earlier and handed the Hornlark tuck there, and then we're gonna get Hornlark OP memes coming.
Oh yeah, I don't know if you've been looking at chat, but there was a riot when the Hornlark went down.
Yeah. Yeah, look at the Borrowing Owl and Hornlark. That's 3 points there. Like, oh, look at that. That's another point from Burrowing Owl. So that's 4 points that, that could really determine the game from between the Hornlark and the Burrowing Owl.
Yeah.
This is gonna be close. Very fast game, I must say.
Yeah. And they split the ERs. They split the end of round goals.
No, I think
evenly.
Motherlove got it because I think Wingspan they tied the first one.
Oh, did they tie the first one? Oh,
I
that's
think.
a lot of bonus cards.
Yep. Oh, so close. Come on. Let's do this. All right. Looks like Motherlove, I want to say. Look at this. 2 points. It really comes down to that Borrowing Owl and that Hornlark. Oh my
gosh,
God.
I can't believe that.
Yep, the Boring Out and Hornlark combo. This is so controversial.
Wow. No, it's not controversial. Everybody loves it, but
Yeah. I guess, yeah.
I have
It's,
severely underrated both of these birds.
yeah.
Like,
In close game like this, you never know.
Yeah.
I think there's two things, right? The Boring Owl, the Hornlark, and then if Wingspanner did not, pick up that breeding manager, they pick up a better bonus card, it would have been even closer or even give them the win. So that was such close game.
that was a fun game to commentate on, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, and just Winging It and I just talk about the underrated bird, and this is like the perfect demonstration for Hornlark. It's like typically people won't pick it up. It really takes some intuition and guts to bet on the Hornlark, and like you see here, it paid off.
Yeah, and there's a lot of strategy involved with being able to feed one of those bonus cards, like one of the cards that takes out of your hand, like the tuck and draws or something like the hard lark.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah,
no, that was a great strategy. Like,
yeah, wow, we have 3. Yeah,
we've got 3 that have cleared 95.
Yeah, 3 like very well played, like top tier games. Like really happy to see it. So.
Yeah.
Well, look like we are going into game 4 here. Potentially going game 5 even. So now motherlove is up 2-1. So Wingspanner have to bring it home by winning 2 straight. While they're giving no time here. So.
Oh yeah. And I think I'm switching off with someone. I think Groove should be here. Yep.
Right.
I should be, and I am, and I'm sorry. I was just giggling like a schoolboy when you said hard lark.
I did not.
You did. I'm telling you.
It's
when you
on stream.
Yeah, there's
it's
audio
evidence.
That's true. It is better. I got much. Oh, look at this. Sorry, Raven in the tray trumps all.
All right.
Okay.
Wingspanner need this, right? Or who is going first? I think it's motherlove going first, or I'm lost. That was just such a good game.
Hey, if you're lost, then there's no hope for me, buddy.
We are just gonna be lost together.
Yeah, we're sailing the seas. Just it's like Life of Pi. Like there's giant whales and like neon blue stuff, and we have to learn how to fish. And
we'll just keep going.
Anything.
It's gonna be a lot of ooh, look at this, and ooh, look at that.
I think it's a good thing. Ooh, look at this was not a drinking game, because the entire audience would have been comatose about 5 minutes into that last game.
That would be hilarious. But yes, thanks to Winging It in the chat and keeping everything in order, and point out that Wingspanner is going first.
Ah, okay.
So yeah, Wingspanner really need this Raven here, because like we say, they need to bring 2 games back to back to win this match here. So definitely welcome to see the Raven there.
Okay, and actually, looks like we may need to pause or take a break. It looks like Wingspanner's asking about a short break. I can't imagine why. It's not like they've taken played 3 very exhausting and challenging games in a row. So let me go ahead and see what they're looking for, and in the meantime, you and I can work on trying to sound as much like a married couple as you and Elsie.
I must say, I don't even know if I have the capacity to do it. Like with the last 3 games, it was like, each game it's just like so like intense and so close. It's not any like smooth sailing game at all. And now they're going to like 2 more games potentially. It is. I can totally understand if they need a break.
Yeah, looks like Flan says he's switched over to the B.
All right.
Screen. So,
all right. We'll be right back. All right, we are back. If you still remember, we have motherlove versus Wingspanner, game 4 here, and Groove is joining me.
Wait, this is motherlove and Wingspanner?
Groove, are you all right?
Well, you said if you still remember. I mean, I don't know. I thought I was watching the the cornhole championships. I don't know.
I'm also addressing people in the chat. It has been a while. We're gone for a little bit. Also,
wait,
there might be.
There's a chat. I thought this was just you and me, dude. I thought we were just like, you were like, hey, come hang out.
I've questioned whether we're gonna get through this.
I think that's long been answered in the negative, my friend.
Oh boy. Well, what are your thoughts here, Groove? I'll let you have a chance.
My thoughts are, Wingspan. Here's the problem with Wingspanner, right? They've and we've confirmed they're going first. Okay, so you look, of course, at the Raven and the Tray, right?
Yeah.
But the thing with the Raven is you always want to have a strong wetland with it. I mean, other than the freak scenario where you get the goal to kill deer. So of course we saw Wingspanner's wetland options are non-existent. So they're going to have to, I guess, kind of. They kept the titmouse and the sparrow, because of course with the Wingspanner with the house rule where you can't, or with the Raven with the house rule, you can't play it until the second round.
Mm-hmm.
there's always the question of, okay, well, what are you going to do in the meantime?
Yeah.
Right, so they keep the titmouse, they keep the sparrow to kind of at least be able to generate a few points and what have you. But it's going to be interesting for them.
So Funbun in the chat point out about the Hummer. I was kind of thinking the same thing too. I feel like the Hummer is not the best, but certainly a functional wetland bird that could potentially be good for Raven because you can get cards and also get food that you need for the Raven. So I feel like that's a little bit of missed opportunity there.
Yeah, and that's a really good point. And another thing that a hummingbird does, when you see your opponent play a hummingbird, that's one of the things where that can maybe cause a shift in your strategy, where you think, oh, okay, I'm going to be getting some extra food. Well, that hummingbird would only be as active, as it was until the Raven got set up.
Yeah.
And so that can kind of mess with your opponent a little bit as well.
You can cause some like withdrawal.
Yes, my name's Matt, and I'm addicted to hummingbirds.
Yes, that sounds so wrong.
Yeah.
And certainly in the trade, while that Hermit Thrust looks really tasty here with the end of round goals.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the Raven, if there's opportunity to get that down, would definitely be nice.
Yep. Yeah, for sure. I think even the kite is a decent pickup here, just for it would be for motherlove. They've got, as you can see, they've got no forest birds, and they need to be conservative with their food, and it would also qualify for the first end of round. So I think if I'm motherlove, I'm hoping that kite is still around.
Yeah. All right. We are seeing. I mean, it's interesting. Like over 3 games now, the 4th game, we kind of get some idea what Wingspanner play style here is. I think I've noticed that they're pretty aggressive with card drawing in early game. That's what we have seen. They were almost gonna pick up some cards there, but decided against it. And yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and ultimately, I mean, I don't know. I think you could have made a case for the kite for them too, even, but just kind of get them off to to a faster start, because even with that titmouse, right, they're only going to be getting one food per activation.
Yeah.
So I think that might have been. I mean, they still have, but of course that doesn't address their wetlands problem, right? Which is why maybe keeping that hummingbird might have made some sense.
Oh, they really go for the kite here.
Oh, that kingfisher.
Yeah.
Been a good one for them. Might have taken them some time to get to it, but
yeah, they would have loved to have the kingfisher. Yeah, not having that wetland bird is gonna hurt them. Like the effect is just gonna snowball as they keep going into round 2. So they really need that one wetland bird there. And yeah, recently Winging It and I just made a video talk about underrated bird, and the white crown sparrow is on Winging It list. And this is the perfect showcase. Like, it's not typically the bird that you look for to play, but here it just helps so much to, get you to the 2 cards in the wetland, and then also help you with drawing food in the forest.
Oh, now this is going to throw off. Yeah, Motherlove's got to take that finch. Just your opponent has the Raven. I mean, it's
look at this.
Phoebes.
This is off to a really strong start here.
Yes, absolutely.
Yep. With that 2 strong bird down, they can easily rival the Raven with the House Finch and Phoebe.
Oh yeah, and that the Phoebe also is a star nest. If you look at the first 3 end of rounds are all nest based, and that Merganser is going to be able to generate plenty of cards to feed the Finch, especially with the Sparrow. See, what Motherlove was looking to do before the Finch popped up was they were going to lay eggs, send the Sparrow down to the wetland, and and then be able to pick up to look at 4 cards and keep 3. So with once they can still do that, but now they can take those extra cards and cycle them through the Finch and then pick up a grub with that Phoebe. So I think even though Wingspanner's got the Raven, which we all know is a very strong bird, an OP bird, I think that kind of it's a much slower start for the Raven in that wetlands. I think Motherlove has got a good advantage here once they can get that Finch down.
Yeah. And not gonna lie, like Wingspanner tempo here is kind of slow. They're entering round 2 and still don't have the wetland bird down. Like if it happened that in round 2 we have a good tray or good birds, it's gonna hurt a lot for not having any wetland bird.
Yeah, always nice when the tray turns. I mean, I'm a big advocate. I know I've said it recently on some broadcasts or videos with you guys where having yourself in preparation to maximize that tray turnaround, because the tray turnaround, that's the only time in the game where you get to look at 3 cards they're just shown to you, right? Otherwise you're always just drawn from the deck. So
yeah. Oh wow.
Oh my goodness.
And Motherlove did a smart thing there to deny that Phoebe, so that it forces Wingspanner to spend 1 more turn to draw food, because otherwise with that free grab, Wingspanner could have put down their Raven. So that was attention to details there that was really useful.
Very nice.
And obviously now things is going to snowball really quickly for Motherlove here with 2 tuck and draw and 3-star nest potentially.
Yeah, that's really savvy, as you say, because you always want to be paying attention to, okay, not only how does this action benefit me, but how does it benefit or harm my opponent. And sometimes you always want to look at your actions relative to your opponent. So maybe if an action is if an action is bad for you, but it's much worse for your opponent, that's a net gain, right? So it's like, even though not taking that oh my goodness.
This is just one of those games where it snowballs like so quickly. It just snowballs so quickly.
Motherlove is getting so what they're gonna do, they're gonna get that crow down, and then they'll use the crow and potentially the Phoebe to get the barn swallow down. Then and quickly after that they can get the house Finch down. That grassland's going to be set up really, really fast here.
I mean, this is the kind of game you want, right? Like this is going to be a pretty easy to navigate game for Motherlove here, I would say. With the crow and 2 tuck and draw and Phoebe and a good card draw from the wetland. When you're entering the 4th game, this is going to help a lot. With that being said, Wingspanner is also slowly setting up their engine and their wetland here, hopefully soon. It's just going to be hard to rival Motherlove point scoring here. But this is just round 2, so we'll see.
We'll see. I think Motherlove also has the the advantage of having those 2 tuck and draw birds in the grassland, but importantly, they're able to get their food birds set up after, so that they'll be able to tuck through the cards, and then they can figure out what food they need. and also they've already picked up those two double play birds in the egret and the red-eyed vireo, which is going to go great. I mean, that's always great for big point plays in general, but also they've got the ecologist bonus card. So there's a decent chance. I mean, they'll be able to get 8 points from that bonus card as well. So they're just they've got a lot of really good things working for them here.
Are they trying to get the canvas back down here? Looks like they're trying to compete for the end of round go here with the canvas back.
Oh, must be, yeah.
Or either the bond swallow or the canvas bag. Yeah, it makes sense to go for the bond swallow here. I mean, looking at this, yeah, I thought motherlove, if they want to, they could spend a turn picking up food here because, or I was just thinking of like the last end of round go. Eventually, they would like to get the sparrow in the wetland. But that might also make them spend more eggs to play more wetland birds. So yeah, never mind. Discard my comment there.
Or it has been tucked and laid.
Okay, it was lay and tuck away.
Yeah, tucked and drawn. We'll get another comment here. Hear from you shortly.
Yeah. But, the tough thing for Wingspanner is, again, even with that king. What is this?
Wow.
I mean, here's a good question. Do you think the Raven is worth playing here?
Yeah, I mean, at this point, you're already getting 2 food per activation, and you don't really have to worry about giving your opponent food now because he's already got good food generation in his own right. So you're going to be able to get 2 food, and it's not like it really helps you with much of anything else. It doesn't help you with the end around or anything like that. You're putting the finch down. So the question is, do you want the Raven in that 5th spot? I don't know that you do.
Yeah, probably not. That's my feeling too. And well, look at this. Wingspanner got a pretty nice 3rd round trade here with the Robin and Grebes. They're looking at the bonus card here for Wetland Scientist and Starnest. So I don't think there's too many difficult decisions here what they should pick up.
No, pick up the Grebe. Or maybe they're not worried about their opponent picking up the Grebe.
Yeah.
I think I would have.
Yeah.
They're going to tuck and pick up the Grebe.
Yeah, it's a little bit of gamble, but it might still work out for them. And yeah, well, since we have a little bit of time, I should put out a disclaimer that I'm gonna be playing whoever win the series next. So I'm definitely watching this game very closely here.
Oh, okay. So you get some scouting.
Oh yeah.
I'm sure there's a conspiracy in there somewhere. I don't.
No, it's conspiracy. It's just like strategic. Sporting. It's the same as like people. Going back to watch like other people stream games. I think some people do before they play their opponent. Seeing motherlove picking up more cards here. I mean, here's interesting. I guess do they need more cards here? I think with the double play, they probably do.
Well, yeah, that, and I think they already have birds. Like they had all the birds in their hand. They wanted to play except for one, the Raven.
Yeah,
right? But when you're tucking and drawing twice, I think what they wanted to do maybe was because they're like, okay, you see, they've got 7 cards in their hand. They're gonna play. Probably 6 more birds, and so they just kind of want to give themselves the option. Like, okay, it's a timing question, right? Like when do I know I'm going to draw additional cards at some point? When do I want to do it? And they just must have decided, to go ahead and pull the trigger now. I think that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, the late game is not super strong for Wingspanner here. You know, they don't have a lot of X spots. The really worth playing birds in their hand right now is the Puffin. I think they missed the opportunity to play the Grebe as well. So, yeah, I think like even the round 4 trade is gonna be determining for Wingspanner here.
Yeah, well, how are we looking? How are we looking for end around? So Wingspanner's got 2. Oh, yeah, and Motherlove's got 4.
Yeah,
First round has to qualify. So yeah, I wonder if you know, as Wingspanner's got those 3 fish. I wonder if they're trying to do something that Flan mentioned in I believe in the broadcast with Elsie a couple games ago, where you know he's looking to get that Puffin down and kind of guide his play with the whatever bonus card that they pick up.
I think at this point you do need to see that bonus card and kind of help you to decide, you know, what cards that you need to pick up as you're going into round 4 and seeing the new tray. So yeah.
Yeah. Oh, and then we've got, as pointed out in the chat, we got another double bird there in the house wren, which is gonna, you know, again potentially another big play. I mean, Motherlove will be able to play 3 birds at once in the forest if they want to.
Yeah, it's one of those games that you. Oh, look at this Ulogis. That's not a bad pickup.
No, 6 points. That's great. I mean,
yeah,
you know, when it's all said and done.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely put pressure on them to play 2 more birds, and ideally one is the wetland bird that fulfill the wetland scientist. But yeah, it seems doable. But again, with that wetland, you're drawing two card, and if the cards in the tray are not the one you want, it's always so nerve-wracking when you are drawing cards in round 4 and you have to draw them blind from the deck.
Well, I don't know. I like that. I like the Anhinga actually.
Yeah.
For Wingspanner, it's you know, they get the 3 points bonus from that wetland scientist, so that's actually an 8-point bird after you net the egg, and it only costs 2 food, so it's just, you know, 1 egg from the raven. So I don't think there's any pressure on them to pick that up now. But yeah, I think that's a bird that they should grab. They are going to have to take cards one more time, but yeah, I mean, I think it could be they could just tuck and pick up the Anhinga, or they could just draw 2 cards with one of them, you know, being the Anhinga, and then you know, and then just plan on tucking it out for the rest. But
I'm even looking at the bunting. You know, I wonder if the Lazuli bunting and Hinga would be nice pickup, because they do have a lot of bow nests and star nests. So the Lazuli bunting is definitely a more reliable point scoring bird than the Harrier, and they definitely have the extra food there. So yeah.
Well, yeah, the problem is that they played, you know, they can't play the bunting anymore, right? Because they just put the Harrier down.
Yeah, so I was wondering, like, if that they should have gone for the bunting.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you know, potentially. I mean, I think they've got they would have a lot of bull nest spots, so they could certainly accommodate it that way. I mean, I think they have 13 bull nest spots. So
yeah, and yeah. I just like, yeah, it's just the feeling, especially if you look at Motherlove, they probably unlikely to run out big space, but yeah, because you see that the Harrier just missed a hunt there, so you're already missing, you know, 1 point there, and it's 1 point lower. The bunting, I think overall probably would have scored better points than the Harrier.
Now wait a second, the Harrier missed a hunt and the Kite hit one with 1. That's
is that another conspiracy theory confirmed on screen here?
Yeah, this is just feeding your delusion, Tay.
I mean, look at that. 1 dice and got a hunt. Something is wrong with the coding for Wingspan. Please, someone please look at this. I mean, look at all this food.
I think it just depends on who's got higher elo. That's the question. Is Wingspanner?
I'm not gonna get into that now. That's touchy. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah, Winging it also point out why Wingspanner is not, spending all those worms for eggs. So that's also kind of questionable. Is Motherlove gonna play some birds here with all the food that they have? I think they're looking for that big wetland bird here, but lately they're just gonna settle with that grebe here, I think.
Yeah, on that Wingspanner point, I mean, I wonder if they just maybe realize that they're gonna, or think that they're gonna have potentially an issue with egg space, because with that they can get 6 eggs per turn. I guess they spend 1 from the Raven, so 5. So yeah, I'm not sure, because they've got to be looking to draw cards.
Yeah, you see, here's the dilemma. They draw cards, but after they draw a card, the rest of the 3 turns, they score better by just laying eggs like 3 turns. So, at least based on my rough estimation. So that draw card just feel like, I guess it feed the Robin, but it doesn't really score them, any more additional points, because unless they draw some really big points bird that they can play.
Yeah, but I think if they don't, then they're just, they can't. They've got too much space to run out of, or to run eggs 4 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think you've gotta, in that sense, getting the cards is a 3-point turn in that sense, with the potential for, maybe you get some massive bird.
Yeah. So Winging it point out that there's not enough turn to lay eggs 4 times, but here's a gamble. What if you lay egg 3 times and then just play whatever bird that you get from the last tug, That would give you like perfect 4 turns without drawing cards. I know it's a huge gamble, and the Ahinga also fulfill the wetland scientist, so probably a better play here.
Yeah, I mean, the Ahinga is it'd be an 8-point play that way.
Yeah.
Plus, also, you have to get it. It's actually more than an 8-point play. It's an 11-point play, because it's going to allow you to be your 9th bird for the oologist. So
yeah,
that gamble would.
Yeah, and they're really they are massively running off space here. So that's unfortunate. And this is the perfect game where, like, Motherlove just perfectly render that Raven useless. I mean, look at all this extra, not totally useless, but really minimize the impact of the Raven here. Just looking at all this like extra food that Wingspanner can't even turn into extra points. So perfect scenario for Motherlove.
Oh yeah. It's for people who play poker, it's a free roll, right?
Yeah.
Where you can only gain, but you can't lose. Yeah, I mean, that's flooding your opponent. When your opponent has easy access to resource, it's hard to go wrong flooding them with it. Especially that. I just noticed that Motherlove's got the Say's Phoebe, which they're going to be able to run their grassland again.
Yeah.
Phoebe will give them a free grub, and then they'll be able to play that Say's Phoebe for a good number of points.
I don't think the Cuckoo is a bad play here, because again, Wingspanner, they couldn't afford to lay egg 3 times, so they might as well play the Cuckoo here for some points. And but it would be interesting if they can draw a better card to play than the Cuckoo here.
Yeah, I mean, it's not a bad finish, at least, because if I guess it's. Let me see. They're going to have. Well, they've got 10 egg spots, and even if they laid 6 eggs, they would still have 4 egg spots on their on their final turn, plus the tuck from the Rob. So yeah, I think it's close. I think it would just be worth it for them to just run their grassland again, unless they got a much larger points bird.
Yeah, it's definitely a little bit of gamble here. Yeah, things, not gonna lie, looking pretty good for motherlove here.
Yeah. I mean, I think motherlove is just that we see that lack of wetland bird for Wingspanner.
Yeah.
How much that can really hinder the Ravens' development, and how how important that is to be able
missing
to
that Hummer for the wetland. I think that really hurt a lot. And that titmouse 2-foot investment in the forest, that you're not gonna use, also a little bit questionable. So it just all adds up over the game.
Yeah, I mean, I think that the titmouse versus the hummingbird. I think the hummingbird could a good bit more sense. Let's see what they draw. Yeah, yellowheaded.
No, nothing. Yeah, so like right now they only have 4 spots left. So with the tucking, that's 5 points. Yeah, I think the cuckoo would have been about the same number of points. So
yeah, well, they get to try to run the Harrier and the Kite too. So I think it's just a little bit of an edge to running the grassland again.
That's true. All right, last turn here, motherlove with their Says Phoebe.
Mm-hmm.
That was probably unexpected to Wingspanner here, but how many eggs is that? That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's a 8 points play. That's huge. Given that grassland, there's not that many plays that can rival that grassland. So that 8 points play was very nice.
Yeah, we just saw. Got to look at Motherlove's score. They're looking at 97, and it looks like I think they're going to win that final end of round as well.
Yeah, and Motherlove basically play half of their bird.
That's sorry.
That started me. What happened?
Wingspanner just drew Franklin's goal.
Oh wow, yeah, that's basically just Wingspan trying to tease you, be like, yep, look at this. But yeah, like the great thing about Motherlove board is like they play basically half of their birds with free food from the Phoebe. That was amazing, and I won't be surprised if they score like over 100 here.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah.
They're gonna be at, I think, 104.
Yeah. And with this win, Motherlove would take this home with 3-1 and moving on to the is it the quarterfinal, I think? Look at this, 104-92. Well done.
How do you not know? It's your game.
I know. I mean, after seeing 4 games, I must say, I think, it's going to be a tough battle ahead for me.
Yeah. I thought you were going to say after seeing 4 games, your eyes kind of glaze over, and then.
Wow, great game. Well, should we bring Flan back in? Even though he can come in at any time because it's his channel.
I don't know. Is he having lunch?
He's making lunch, maybe.
I have the power to come in whenever I like.
Yep, exactly. Well, good game.
Good game. Yeah, to be honest, all 4 of those games were incredibly high quality, and I think the scores on display as well. Really, really impressive stuff. I don't think between the 4 games we had a single score below 90. So very impressive. But yeah, I think that just about wraps this up. So congratulations, of course, to Motherlove for advancing to the next round, and we'll be playing against Tay-Ray, so that should be a very good game for sure. One that we're all looking forward to. But yeah, thanks very much everyone who has watched this live stream. Definitely some good games on display. And yeah, thank you to my 2 commentators here with me right now, and also to Elsie as well, who was on earlier. But yeah, thank you very much for watching. And as always, we will see you in the next live stream. Take care, everyone.